There you go. Paul?
Hello there.
Good morning. Yeah.
Sorry, it's a rough day today.
We're running without Erin today, so there may be the occasional glitch and technical difficulty because she's our techie.
Okay, well, seems
but
fine so
we'll-
far.
Okay, we're hooked up, we're live, we're streaming.
I hope so. Just want to make sure the YouTube thing is going.
Where's
Yeah.
where's Erin today? Is she sick?
Yeah, she's not well.
Yeah.
Oh,
she's
too bad.
I got some bug.
Wait, now I gotta go over here. Oh, no. I'm not touching that now?
Okay, so we wanna,
So do you know what you can do is up in the top corner on the right hand side, there's a square box. You can hit that square box and make it bigger.
Make it bigger?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
perfect.
there.
Okay, we will call to order at 9:30.
9:30. Okay, just a second.
And we have the agenda, so we will, any changes, errors, omissions, what are we doing with
The
the agenda?
addition of the strategic planning document.
Okay, and that is
7.6.
7.6, we're gonna add the strategic planning document,
Okay,
and that was it for that. Anything else? We're good, Paul?
Good, yeah.
Okay,
I'll move to accept the agenda as amended. Clear now?
yes, thank you.
okay. Motion. Okay, no public hearings. Oh, sorry, the minutes. Let's do, so
There's
agenda.
a couple things in the minutes,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Okay,
First of all, in number 5.1, it's just a wording thing, so that it can be changed. Moved by Councillor Ashford to respond, and that the council has reviewed her email and has decided to stand by. So it's just grammatics. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the grammatics of it.
so grammatically reviewed.
Yeah.
Okay, grammatical review. Too many ands, I'd say.
Well, too many ands, and it just it just needs it.
So we can get rid of the last and then just put council has decided.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you do business arising out of the minutes at this point?
Which item from last? meeting?
8.2. So I had asked for information on the incident command system training, and we haven't gotten any yet.
Yes, we were still working on that.
Okay. That's
Sorry, that's why it's not in the agenda, because we still haven't got everything yet.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. Anything else, Leona?
No, that was all.
Okay, motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Public hearings, none. Delegation, we have 3. And you've got Lauren in third position, but
He's here.
He's here, so if he's ready to join us, maybe we'll. Are you ready to join us? 10:30. Oh, okay. Okay, well, we can, since none of the delegations are here, we can skip over that for now. So we'll just need to come back to that,
Yeah, I'm just looking.
if that's okay.
When are the others coming in?
They should be coming in right away.
Okay.
Yeah, he's usually here. The RCMP is here. Okay.
How about delegations? We'll just move into the minutes.
Yeah. Into the bylaws, number 6. Okay, just let me get to that section.
Sorry, where are we jumping to right now?
We're
Jumping to page
26, the bylaw control.
Okay.
correct. So this one was this made some minor adjustments to our fire control bylaw. Specifically addressing, one word on benefiting and receiving services. Oh, before that was the Jack's
Jack's Pond.
Pond. So I had a question about that.
I've got a couple too. Paul, do you have?
Yeah, I've just got a question about, we had talked, I think, about putting up signage of the fire hazard level at Jack's Pond, and I don't see that mentioned anywhere here.
Okay.
Cause
Yeah.
that would be more administrative, internal. We gotta work on that through budgets. We'll need to discuss about the
But
signage
it
cost.
should be in, I guess this is the bylaw.
This is
but
the bylaw. That is the budget.
Operation part of it.
Operational.
Yes.
Okay, Leona, you had some,
One was just a general one. Has this been reviewed by the fire chief?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
okay,
The other one, that we have touched on in meetings before, but we've never really come to a resolution on it, is the MR considered an owner when we are dividing up those fire charges? And I don't think we've come to any resolution on that.
I think that would be where the basic information is here. And if it is a MR situation, then what we can do is just from now on, we won't fill it out right away. We'll bring it back and you can make a decision.
well, I
And that's a budgetary.
think when we went through it the first time, the bylaws and the policies stated that we were not. And we made the exception on this one.
Yeah.
So why would we need to change it? It currently says we are not.
Correct.
I didn't see anywhere in here where it said that we were not considered an owner anymore.
Well, it's not covered by insurance, so these are gonna have to be individual discussions by council based on individual incidents.
Okay.
I don't think we had clarity on it either, but we chose to leave it that way rather than to
Change it.
really try to define it one way or another, because
Okay.
the answer will be, it depends on the circumstance really, and so we'd look at it each time.
Okay.
Right.
I'm okay with that as long as we look at it each time.
Yeah.
Then that I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's why that one section there, O, under 9.1 is much more clear in all its definitions.
Okay. And on O, there's just another grammatical error. If they lights any fire, just get rid of the S.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And
Well, we're in section 9.1. To go all the way down, I did have a question as we get into page 35. The conditions for all fires permitted under subsection O, and then it's got a few points beneath it.
Yeah.
Should one of the conditions be mention of, obeying fire bans? Because I don't really see that being mentioned here in this part of it anyways. Maybe it's mentioned elsewhere, but somebody's lighting a fire, they have to supervise it all the time. They have to be responsible for cleanup, but they also have to be responsible for knowing the fire conditions and obeying them. Should that be part of that?
Actually, that is in the bylaw. I remember reading it. It's very clear that if the fence is between, if you light a fire in between a fire ban, then the onus is gonna be on you, especially if there's a fire.
Right,
Well,
but we're
it
kind of
says it
repeating things here that are mentioned elsewhere as well. I mean, supervise the fire.
so what's the offense for?
It's even under general offenses, I believe.
Yep.
I
Okay.
see it.
Fine.
I don't
All right,
think
it just seemed okay. It's I see what you're saying.
Oh, a fire prohibited under this bylaw or running a fire.
So I think what you guys should do is right now, this is the draft. If you wanted to do one, resolution for the first reading and have some more time to re-review it, we can bring it back.
That was my last comment, is that we probably should do first and second reading of this and then delay the third reading until. any
Either way.
other-
Okay,
Yep.
prior to that, looking at 7.5, it says may on property owned or controlled by them. And then it says owned, located in a designated public area. Those
I think
are
that should be or there, yeah.
It's conflicting statements there.
This is what, when we talked with the fire,
I know, but that sentence conflicts with itself.
subject to section 8, a person may on property owned or controlled by them and within the summer village owned outdoor fireplaces. Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's kind of like
It's grammatical again.
grammatically, and then
I think if you just change that to or, then it works.
Yeah,
change
instead
the
of
and to
and or within summer villages owned outdoor fireplaces located in designated public areas.
Yep. Yeah, it's grammatical. It's just.
Okay.
Should be
And
or.
then I wanted to look at C. So is that, and the reason I'm bringing this up is
7.4C?
7.5 C.
7.5C.
The diameter not exceeding 1 meter. If we had that not exceeding 1.2 meters, that would work. But is that 1 meter a fire department rule or is that our rule?
That is across the board. When I was researching fire bylaws, that's what they say. Everyone, when you start going out, I can bring back that.
I would like
For
to
you?
see that, yes, because if it was 1.2, it would work.
Because
the pallets.
that's my
Because that's
question.
why people are putting the pallets on top, because it's 1 meter and not 1.2. There's like this much that you can't get the pallet in, and then people put it on top. So that's the problem. So if we had it, I'm just asking if that's a possibility to change that to 1.2. But I want to see the rules.
How about if you do one motion for whatever readings you're gonna do? Another motion to bring back further information
Okay.
regarding meter size, fire
Well, I
pit,
just want information.
fire pit screening.
Yeah, because that was my last question, is does that fire pit at Jack's Pond conform?
No,
Does not, or it currently does not.
currently it does not
Because of
conform because of the sides, everything. There's quite a few things that it doesn't conform. Even in through insurance, they even said that's not a conforming fire pit.
Yeah, I was wondering about the no sides, no screening on sides.
There's
Well,
anyway,
great on the top and great on the sides. How do you get wood into it?
there's ways that they make the fire pits, but you're not supposed to actually have things on top of a grate. That's
Sure,
why they
That
call it.
makes, and then,
And it has to be, the sides have to be certain construction. If you notice, most fire pits have where the airflow can come in,
Yeah.
but they don't have enough where fire's gonna shoot out.
So to make that conforming, that top grate actually needs to be on hinges so that you can get
Mhm.
wood in.
or slide around.
Or slide around or
Or
whatever,
slide around,
and the sides have to have metal steel gauge put around it.
Correct.
And then other than the 1.2 or I don't even know how wide it is.
I think it's about a meter now.
Oh, okay. Other than that, it probably would conform if those amendments were made to it.
Correct, and that's why we had the landscaper come in and say, hey, to build a proper fire pit, what would it take?
Well, what would it take to correct the current fire pit?
That is a budgetary thing we should talk about.
Okay, but I mean,
Because yeah, they should,
Yeah.
and
But
we
it-
need to
it
talk
should be.
about these.
okay.
Yeah.
Because is that gonna be the only area, or do you wanna think about other areas? Those are all things that you can discuss during.
Right, but for right now, that's the only one that we have.
Yeah.
Correct.
And so we want to make sure that it is conforming, so that means it needs to have the side wires on it.
Yeah.
And that top needs to be
Swivel or something.
swivel or move or hinge or something.
Yes, so.
Yeah.
But right now, it is what it is. We are not
Mhm.
conforming, but it has been done. It's better than what it was, where before it was
Right.
just being on the ground.
Well, then we should look into, we would like information on what it would take to make the existing conforming. That's what we
Yes.
need.
Yeah.
Whether it's budgetary or not, we need that information sooner rather than later.
So add that to the resolution when
Okay.
you do.
Okay.
Okay, is there any other specific comments that we have?
You have a Dakota.
Oh, good. You can go back after you. What do
Okay,
you wanna do
let's
with this
finish
one?
this.
let's finish this one and then, okay, so, any other specifics on this one?
No.
Okay.
That covered
not
all my
yet.
comments.
So we need a motion to, accept this,
Nope. I
No,
would do a
I'll move
motion.
to read it the first time.
okay,
So Leona,
first reading.
to do first reading
Yeah.
with some minor amendments as noted.
Grammatical amendments.
Grammatical amendments. And then do we need to do a
Yes,
second
second one.
reading for that? But we also need to include in that motion,
No, just do your second one.
second reading,
Okay,
okay, we'll
hang
do
on.
that
So moved by Leona to do first reading
with amendments.
with some grammatical amendments as noted,
Yes.
as discussed. So that's first reading.
Second reading,
Second reading.
we did the second reading as well.
Okay, hang on. You gotta do one motion for this
We
first.
did,
Yep, we did.
Okay, motion carried. Everybody's in agreement?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Next motion. Sorry, bear with me. Moved by,
Leona moved that one.
second reading, okay, moved by Leona. What do we, second reading, right?
Same thing.
Same
Exact same thing.
Yeah.
Copy and paste.
Okay,
And then a motion to
Defer the third reading.
defer the third and.
well, you don't have to do the third reading, just
Okay.
leave it with the
Yeah, we don't
two
wanna, yeah, we don't need to defer, it, but we want a motion
for your
to
question.
get information on what it would take to correct the fire pit at Jack's Pond to,
On how about
On-
on municipal
Designated fire. pits.
bylaws regarding
regarding, I want size in there,
designated outdoor fire.
size and modifications
Outdoor
required to
fire
meet code,
pits, size and modifications.
required to meet code. Or code or
to meet
bylaw,
Fire
fire bylaw or.
fire code or bylaws.
Okay.
Does that sound about right?
And,
Okay.
Oh, wait, do we have to vote on that motion?
no, I just wanna
Oh,
add
you
to,
wanna add to that.
I just wanna,
I'm putting it in.
I just want to review the penalties. When I'm looking at these penalties, they're,
And review penalty comparison?
yes, because they don't, some of them don't make sense to me. So setting an illegal fire is only $200, but if you use a firecracker or you discharge, those are $500. Like, to me, setting an illegal fire would be. Yeah, so I just want to
Penalty
review the
comparisons.
penalties.
So this is just doing both those two things with other municipal bylaws and.
Yep.
And bring back next meeting.
Okay, and that was it for that.
And that's,
No, we have to vote on that,
Dan, you made that resolution?
yes.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll jump back now to the delegation, the shoreline management plan delegation. I think they look like they're
You
ready
have
to go.
you have to click on her.
And take her off mute. There we go.
Hi Dakota, can you hear us?
Good morning, everyone. I can. Unfortunately, I'm having some issues with my video, so it will not let me show myself. So I do apologize.
Okay.
You just
let's
didn't comb your hair this morning.
I am working from home sick, so but that's not an excuse, I promise.
Okay, so Dakota's in, I don't see anybody else.
Oh, okay.
So we'll go
Okay,
on
so-
Fire and
that one.
flood.
Sorry, I jumped ahead. It's not shoreline, it's fire and flood.
Oh,
So
okay.
Lauren and Dakota are the delegation,
Yes.
and go ahead.
Wonderful. Oh.
Is Marty available or just yourself?
Unfortunately, Marty is down in California, working with one of our partners down there right now.
Okay. So, I guess a quick overview. Dakota came out to the village and with Marty, his other person that works with him, and we went to all of the places that were designated that we pumped from.
Okay.
And then we also did some work on what the what the ones that we work on major that we have licenses for. And so the one that Jack's pond, we don't do anything there. But there is a place in CJ 1, just down where the outhouse is there on beach 7, that is designated to be pumped, but we've never pumped out of there. And the other one is 3rd Street Pond, and that's the one that we do pump, but we just pump it into a low area in between 2nd and 3rd Street, and it just disappears. The other one is across the road from the hall here, with that slough behind, just over here, as well as all of the basin that drains into there. We have a French drain that lowers the water level in and around the shop and the hall area, and it drains out all year. It never freezes up. It drains out into the pond that's before the lake, just
Okay.
down below the hill here.
Right, that low area.
And then also we walked over there and I showed them the channel that comes from the slough behind, that comes all the way to the side of the road. Whoops, the side of the road here, and we have another line there that we can hook up the trash pump to and fire it down. So there's 2 lines going down here into that pond. The other one was Pheasant Terrace. And actually, Dakota, you were pretty familiar with that one as well. With the, I think.
Yeah, so back in my previous past, I worked for Urban Dirtworks when we were doing the expansion off of the other side of the community there. So I do have a little bit of an understanding of the municipality and some of the underground infrastructure and some of the concerns, specifically on the dewatering and the movement of water and certain things like that. There's quite a few trapped ponds in the community that Lauren did show us that could raise some concern. So what we've constructed is a package that we think would be able to support all of those initiatives while still being fairly mobile without that, permanent infrastructure taste to it, if you will, I guess.
Yeah, and there was also when we were down at the Pheasant Terrace one, because in the wet times when it gets water and it starts flooding, it is really affects people that live around there. So that's a fairly important one as well. And then when I mentioned to Dakota that we also have a agreement with the quarter section across the road of Browns, used to be Gary and Lee Bergens, and Gary and Lee signed off on it that we could pump water across there from the manhole that said Pheasant Terrace. But Dakota said as well, which makes sense, is part of the drainage plan, it would be just as well to punch a culvert underneath the road instead of pumping, And that would take that
Yes.
off of your future investment in,
I think the slough is lower than the field. Anything, the water would go the other way.
I'm pretty sure it's lower on the other side,
We
but
should probably check
yeah.
that. I,
That would have to be looked at.
yeah, I
That
thought the
was,
field was higher than the,
no, actually, that was a thought that was provided by the engineers. That would have been the best approach that should have happened. But usually you do that,
when the road's being constructed.
yes.
well, you can put a
Yeah.
culvert in after, bit of work.
Yeah, you can.
But anyway, I guess what we'll do is, I did fire off some questions to Dakota that council may ask, just on your behalf, so
Absolutely.
I think probably you can take it away and I'll shut up for now.
Oh, thanks, Lauren. I appreciate it. Is it okay if I share my screen? I just want to share my Google Earth here.
All yours.
Can everyone
Allow
see?
it.
Can everyone see that?
Not yet. Here we
There
go.
it is. There.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. So what we've constructed, so when we went through the tour, we kind of took some measurements. We identified through Lauren, you know, the areas of concerns, some of the dewatering concerns. One of the primaries being this area, keeping this area open. So what we did is we created a dewatering and a little bit of a flood protection package. So the 6x6 pump is the same pump that we talked about last year, 56 horsepower. 6x6 pump, diesel driven, with 800 feet of discharge hose. And this 800 feet will allow you not only just to get to the lake, but it's enough to get pumping all of your other ponds to where you're trying to situate that water. So it'll be a little bit of a leapfrog, if you will, but you have the ability to move that water from one end of the community to the next pond, to the next catch spot, and then into the lake, if that's the way that the municipality deems it. And then we also came in and constructed some flood mitigation barriers, water gates. They're very low labor intensive. There's no anchoring, so you don't have to worry about line locates or anything like that. Very quick to deploy around critical infrastructure. So we calculated for these two buildings, and then Lauren showed us a couple of other areas within the community that are affected as well. So this pond here, as it starts to fill, it starts to affect this resident, and then it sounds like it starts doing some road harm. So we've calculated that. And then there's one more location over here. Sounds like this area starts to be affected when this pond starts to collect water. So we've also accounted for that. So there is a total of 650 feet of water gate that has been put into that package as well. Is there any initial questions from council?
So the package, I thought we were just talking about, the dewatering flood package, that's what you're talking about.
Correct.
Okay,
And we
so,
provided two quotes, one for a used pump with 500 hours or less, and then one with a brand new pump straight from manufacturer.
okay, now, traditionally, we've only pumped two ponds, the one over by Pheasant Terrace and the Third Street pond. That's the only two. This office area has never even come close to flooding. I mean, yeah, the 1,000-year flood is gonna flood everything and everywhere, and I don't know if there's a whole lot you can do about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure we need the center village any additional activities. Now, we currently have a pump that we pumped out those two spots.
Yeah, it's a 3-inch, but we have pumped here
We have.
a whole bunch. Because we take it out of the other side of
The road.
the road, we put a line under there, the second line that goes down to east and has the outlet beside the fence.
And that's pumped.
You bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have three then.
Yeah, and this one here, actually, I got Alan to log every time he pumped in there, so we have the logs for
Okay.
that, and we're talking millions of liters.
Okay, so the existing pumps are not enough? Is that why we're saying we need?
Well, the one that we have, let's say if we're gonna pump, Third Street Pond.
Yeah.
It took 2 days with that little pump.
To drain it down.
Yeah, and over here, and the thing is with that, they had to be manned all the time. Because they run out of gas and then you gotta fill up, so you had to, like Bob Green used to man it, or else the summer students used to man it. And then the one over here, which was closer to the shop, if Alan was, or whoever maintenance was, I guess Alan was the only one, because 2020 was the last time that it was really wet here. We were dealing with shore erosion at that time too.
Mhm.
But, so then Alan was able to, he used to have cars driving over the line, but then we put a culvert up there, or put the line through the culvert. And that logged out of it, like, we're talking 3 or 4 days to
Well,
keep that down.
so would we pump this once a season, each of these 3 ponds?
No, it just, like, the dates are on the logging, so it could be a whole summer, but just when it comes up, there's a marker on
Yep.
the pond down on Third Street there. So when it gets to a certain height, then you used to start pumping.
So I guess I'm looking at, can we use I mean, I'm a little hesitant to spend that kind of money, but can we look at,
Yeah, for sure.
like, I'm not sure we need barriers and such around the 2 buildings. I don't know if it ever comes up that high. But is it, you know, can we not rent these when we need them, like twice a year, rent a pump and pump out the 3 areas? It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, hypothetically, yes. But there has been times where we don't have anything available. So, you know, for example, this year there wasn't a piece of iron available in our yard from May 1st till September 15th. So I mean, there's definitely the opportunity that we can do an MSA and identify what the municipalities, or sorry, what the Summer Village is looking for, and we can put together, you know, just a non-binding agreement that specifies what we're able to offer and what the municipality is going to be charged for. That way, it's a guarantee on your side. You already know what you're expecting. We can look at that, or we can look at, you know, a different type of purchase package. Whatever fits the bill for the Summer Village, we're here to support that.
So how does this integrate with or coordinate with that other drainage plan that we looked at? Like, this seems to be doing the exact same thing as those other drainage plans that we were looking at.
So
Well, your drainage, the other one is more permanent infrastructure. This is just temporary. So although can be utilized for dewatering those ponds, it can be utilized for multiple different situations within the confines of the Summer Village.
I know in the last meeting we did a resolution that was, I can't remember what the acronym was, but part of that potential capital funding for any mitigation measures, we were doing that risk assessment and quantification exercise. And I think that'll give some insights into, you know, whether the right fix is something like this, which is, you know, an easier fix, but is something that requires manual work versus the drainage plan was intended to be a passive system that works without,
Yeah.
you know, needing anybody functioning it. So, you know, I don't know really where we land on this myself right now, but you know, maybe taking this as information, but you know, completing that risk assessment before we make any decisions, I'm kind of thinking might be prudent.
Mhm.
I think also the situation with what the drainage plan from the engineers that was done was strictly moving water with culverts. And from pond to pond and then into the lake, because that's where the government wants the water to go. But to do all that, I think the estimate on getting it all together, we're talking, I think it was around $10 million.
It was a lot.
It was a lot.
$12
It
million.
was a lot.
Yeah, we looked at that and ugh, yeah.
So this is just, and that would come in phases too, like you would do certain phases. And I think probably like, if you did have a pump and you didn't want the barriers or whatever, and if it was a second-hand pump and the line, if it could be, like you'd have to have your intent organized to apply for the grant. I think in the grant comes application in November or something.
Yeah, we're working on everything for that.
Yeah, so, I mean, that could probably be included in that grant application. And then once you get your other stuff done, then you could unload the pump. If that's the way you want it to go. And I do realize that, you have to have if you were gonna go that way, you'd have to have a reliable pump, so it could be used, but light duty use kind of deal, because you can have all sorts of equipment, which is in the shop there, and Alan tests it, but some other maintenance folks never, and once you need it and it doesn't start, what the hell do you do? So you have to have that in the back of your mind too.
Well, and operational, like having a pump like this is great if every pond doesn't reach maximum capacity at the same time. And so my concern is also timing, like how long does it take to pump this out and how readily can it be moved? And
If it was a 6-inch
Mhm.
pump instead of a 3-inch, like the volume of water
Is,
huge,
humongous.
yeah.
So for example, the county of Stettler up at Bar W had them 2 drainage ponds that were filling up and compromising the edges.
Mhm.
So the county brought in their 6-inch pump and gone.
so have we looked at an option for a slightly smaller pump, like a 4 or 5, or this, like, how did we come to the 6-inch? Like, let's get this water gone in 2 hours as opposed to 2 days. Do we really, isn't that overkill?
Just have a seat. We're just in another.
Really, it's really objective based, right? Is it overkill for a pond that hasn't seen much water? Yes, but is it overkill for, a pond that's, getting 3,000 gallons a minute put into it? It's kind of depending on what you've seen in the past. If you've seen situations or areas where your pumps might not be able to keep up, then there might be warrant for a larger pump. We're just solely going off of the discussions that we've had with Lauren and some of the situations that have been encountered in the past. Anything lower than this, we don't really provide. If you're looking for 3 and 4-inch pumps, which you guys already have, those are more man portable, where this is it's not man portable, but it's still easier than moving around, a larger scale skid pump. It still allows you to get into those remote areas. You can connect it to a quad, certain things like that. So it's still very maneuverable, but it still moves, 2,600 gallons a minute if you need it, but it'll still move 400 gallons a minute if that's all you need.
Yeah, Melissa?
So I think at this point, the information is great and it's a good discussion for you guys, but I think a lot of it is
Mhm.
weather dependent at this point. And unless we're having some kind of atmospheric conditions,
Yeah.
then I don't know if we're at this point yet. I'm not sure.
And I don't think and then maybe Lauren, you have that historical, but have we ever gotten to the point of, I'm almost thinking flash flood as opposed to, these ponds are slowly rising. Hey, we better pump down. That's one scenario. Whereas I'm more worried about, hey, we've got an atmospheric river, and I don't think we've had them out this far, but who knows that, holy cow, these ponds are rising. When you, Dakota, when you use the term, filling in at 300 gallons a minute or something like that, these ponds might fill in at 10 gallons a minute. And yes, they do go up, and there's a high point where, hey, this could start impacting, we better pump it down. So it's more of a pumping down of the pond from a high point to kind of a low point, and then doing it again a month later, as opposed to, hey, all this water's rushing from the village to these ponds. Is that Maybe give me a little historical.
Well, I can give you some on Stellar, for example. There was twice that it rained in Stettler, and basements were flooded and everything. Like we're talking around down by the fairgrounds there. There was houses that all their furniture was out on the street. And there was places, well, there was one that I had friends that had never ever had water for, and it did. And it was twice, and we're talking maybe, I think it was 3 or 4 inches in one day, but it did it again. And I think probably another thing that is important, I know this is just my personal opinion. I mean, we're talking about flood in the middle of drought,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So in that regard, it's important to do mitigation for what, and we don't know what's coming, right?
Yeah.
But if it happens, bang, then you're shit out of luck. Like when that one happened, this is my opinion, when that one happened in Calgary, and we were in Banff one time, and the boat came right up to the King Edward Hotel on Main Street, and look what happened in Calgary with that, and it was just act of God, bang, you couldn't stop it.
Well, I think that's having rivers and that's where you get the massive flooding potential. But having ponds, I guess we have the historical data of when they pumped. Now, if they, what triggered the pumping? Was it a massive amount of rain over a short period of time?
No.
Or was it a gentle rising? And those are two different scenarios. I don't think we're ever going to get any massive overlanding, because there's no river to breach. And that's what happened with Calgary, High River, all of those places. It was a river that had a drainage thing that flooded the towns.
I was on council when the Stettler flooded, and it was a storm system that couldn't handle the volume of water, and lots of the manhole covers got blown out, and all that's why. And it wasn't just the fairgrounds, even up in Grandview, lots of the houses there got flooded again because the storm water drainage system couldn't handle the volume of water. The pumps couldn't handle the volume of water that was going through there. So to me, that is a little bit of a different scenario than it is here.
Right.
If these pumps allow us to manage our stormwater ponds without those permanent drainage systems that are costing in the millions of dollars, I'm leaning more towards this. My concern is manpower, pumping, timing, all that kind of stuff. But if these are a mitigating factor that will allow us to deal with the pumps, because we know one resident has already said, hey, my property has flooded and the village was held liable for it, then yes, we have to do something. Are we there yet? No, I agree with Paul. We need to have that other study that is there. This is an excellent option. I'm not quite sure what your gates are, what they look like, and how they function. So I would like a little bit more information on that, that is surrounding your buildings and those other places. But for this point, I think this is good for information. We can take the two systems and take a look at them with the study that we're getting done and then make a decision from there. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, I'll send
that's-
over some Watergate information to Lauren as well.
So do you want to do a resolution?
We will have a resolution or make a resolution to accept this as information and to get further information on the melding of these two processes together. And I would like to look at, and maybe it's not through Dakota's company, but I would like to look at, the 6-inch versus the 4-inch. I mean, obviously the 3 we're feeling is a little underwhelming, and it takes a long time to pump these out. but maybe look at a 4 and a 5-inch system as well and see if there's some, can we get some costing on something like that? Just for comparative purposes.
Dakota said he couldn't. There's
Dakota can't, but others can.
Well, I could look into that,
Sure.
because I have before.
Yeah.
With the irrigation systems in the south, they have pumps, but if you go from a 3-inch to a 6-inch, I don't know the volume difference, but it'll
Oh,
amazing.
Mhm.
It's the same in construction business. So if you want me to, I could put some,
yeah, because I think the 6-inch, if we had the flooding potential from the surrounding area, like a Calgary or, other areas where there's a lot of volume of water coming into a very, narrowed area, if you will, and the water level rises very quickly, the 6-inch is probably fairly important. I think with our situation, the 6-inch, to me, feels like it's a lot of overkill. So I'd like some other options on costing as well.
yeah, I just also wanted to mention, because when Marty and Dakota were out here, I did a measurement from the dumpsters there, and I probably told you this before. So that knoll
It's
here,
3 feet,
4 feet
4 feet higher.
higher.
Yeah.
But that could actually be fixed easily as well with a culvert.
Yeah.
And a big grate,
Yeah.
And we also talked, if it was a real disaster and the knoll was still there, you could pull the cover off the French drain and use that as a catchment basin, barricade it around with some expanded metal barrier so it doesn't plug up, and pump it into the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of options.
Yeah.
But you have to have them in your mind.
Yeah. Well, I think it's worth pursuing for sure.
Okay, first resolution moved by who to accept his information,
I will move that.
and what's your next resolution?
That was it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
No other direction for Lauren?
Well, sorry, yes, we, motion to request if Lauren will look into some costing for some smaller pumps and smaller systems. Bigger than 3-inch and smaller than 6, how's that? See if there's out there, again, and then we need to, we'll get there eventually, but we'll need to also look into, what's the funding, what's gonna pay for this? Grants or whatever.
Okay, Dakota, thanks very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, let's vote on that motion. Vote.
Yeah, hang on. So moved by Dan to accept his information, Miss Dakota stuff, and then the next motion was by, is it Dan?
Sure, to request that Lauren look into some pricing.
We'll look into some smaller pumping systems
Yeah.
under 6 inches and bring back to council.
Perfect.
Okay.
So all in favor?
Yep.
Okay, both of those motions are passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Dakota.
Lauren.
thanks, Dakota. I hope
Thank
you're
you.
feeling better.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Yeah.
You
bye.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Cam, how are you?
Okay,
I need 1 second here, please.
Yep.
Oh my God. Things aren't going my way.
Good, working.
I have an update for you.
Okay,
Update 4.
from Cam,
Okay. No, Cam's here.
oh, from the shoreline.
Yes.
They coming?
So we should probably do a resolution. Unfortunately, they've been hit with the flu.
Okay.
So I would rather if we could just motion to table.
Their delegation until they're, okay, motion to table the shoreline
So
management
moved.
delegation. Moved by Leona, all in favor? Okay, and now we got Cam. Oh.
I have a couple more notes to add to that too, so there's a taste.
Yeah. Okay.
So Paul, Lauren had a map with the ponds that he was referring to, so I'll throw this in your
in your mailbox.
See you
Sure.
guys.
So it was, yeah, the only ones of new on that, just to close that up, was the one at Beach Access 7. And then, because the only two that we had discussed in length before was the end of Third and Pheasant Terrace. Now, there's also the one in behind the center here, and then the one off Beach Access 7. So those are two other identified areas of concern and that have been pumped in the past.
Okay,
We'll get that information to you as well.
sure.
Okay, welcome, Cam. Good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise.
Got some changes, I see.
Not too many, not too many.
Okay.
You guys all had a chance to look at the package I sent a little while ago. Yeah, our stats continue to be very similar as they have been in the past, which is good. White Sands has been off the radar completely, other than
Yes.
me
That's
having,
the way we like it.
me having to come out and put a deer down, but that was about it. Yeah, it's that time of year where things typically do slow down a little bit for us because there isn't as much traffic coming through the community and that sort of thing, which is a welcome thing right now.
Yeah.
Just an update on the RCMP as far as what's happening with us. We at Stellar Detachment are a little shorthanded for various reasons. One being that Bashaw is very shorthanded, so they upper management seconded my corporal to go and run that detachment, which is unfortunate, but we're still working together to keep things going and maintaining some level of service that we all deserve. There is a new cadet coming from Depot in the spring, so that's another body that's going to be added to our detachment, which is good, and hopefully some more experienced guys too coming to help out as well.
So your provincial service composition, the 4 enabled, so those are not what you're talking about then? You're talking about different positions?
That are
So in your report here, you've got regular members, established positions for working for
Yeah.
1 soft vacancy, 1 and no hard vacancies. You're saying that's changed?
no, that hasn't changed. The vacancies are on the municipal side.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
not, okay.
And we do that mainly just for to equal out the numbers and the money funding and that sort of thing. That's why we.
So this is the sheriff kind of thing then?
No,
No,
that's
that's,
there's.
oh, right, there's the provincial, yes, okay, I
Yeah,
gotcha,
there's
yeah,
the-
never
the-
mind.
The 2 different cost centers in our
Yeah.
detachment. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then the one soft vacancy is the other corporal position. He's been off with medical issues for about 2 years, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate, but hopefully he can get himself back to work, and we're working with him, but they can't transfer him or transfer somebody that's off on medical for various reasons and that sort of thing. It's frustrating, but it's not being billed to us either. It goes to a different cost center at the same
Okay.
time, but that position cannot be filled then. So he maintains that position until he's back. Or
So how short are you on the municipal side?
in total we're 5 short. So the other corporal that's been seconded to Bashaw won't be on that report because that happened after the report went out. So we're 2 short on the provincial side now. 1 being soft and then secondment. So, and then there's 3 positions in the municipal side that were hard vacancies.
Hmm,
Yeah.
okay.
Which is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's like that across the province, across the country. Edmonton Police, County Police, doesn't matter where you look. We're all facing the same challenges. It's not as glamorous a career that it used to be in many eyes, and I don't blame them. I mean, we're under the microscope all the time and in bad press. Even though 99% of the time we're doing a great job out there, but that stuff isn't being reported. It's just the focus on the negative, right? So, but that said, recruiting has actually really come up in Alberta from Alberta. So the amount of applicants that have come through the Alberta RCMP program has been, I think, doubled, if not tripled, over the past couple of years, which is good. However, those applicants don't always come back to Alberta. They get disseminated throughout the country and expected to be able to work anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, but that's just a good sign all in all.
But it frees up somebody else to come back here too.
And it also shows that there's interest in
Yeah.
the field and some hopefully some more people coming to the career. Yeah. Stellar Detachment's about to go through a big renovation. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it's been in the works for years. And they're finally gonna get going on it. So we're looking at the dust flying around March in 26.
So you're actually going to build?
Oh no, I wish.
Just improve.
Lipstick on a pig.
Yeah.
Put it blatantly. It's gonna be new paint, new windows, new flooring, that kind of stuff, whole new HVAC systems going in. They're gonna have solar panels on the roof and system like that. It's gonna be a lengthy project. They are supposed to be done by March of 27, but I bet you it'll be a little bit longer.
It's too bad they didn't look at that lottery building.
You know, it's hard for people to understand that because we all see it, the elected officials in the area see it, and even though they tell the CEO of the commanding officer of Alberta, that still doesn't have the influence that it needs to be able to make that kind of a change. It's frustrating and infuriating.
Because that building would be so perfect for you.
I agree.
It's got the
Yeah.
secure systems, it's got everything.
Yeah.
Access, highway access.
But see, we're caught right in the middle here right now with the unknown because of our contract is coming up for
Yeah.
renewal in 7 years. And with our current leader, who's very much pushing for the provincial police service, which is happening, that why would they want to purchase property and more buildings and that sort of thing? So they're basically trying to make what we've got work for now is what they're doing, and
Until that all gets resolved.
see how it shapes out in the end. But yeah, in the end, I mean, at the end of the day, the municipality is who would actually be the one that would have to step up and either build or purchase a building for us to make it so that we can make an attachment. Of course, you'd have influence as well, but
So that could potentially mean that the province has the provincial police and the municipals would still have the RCMP? Is that kinda what
it could
you're-
be. I think what the province is trying to do is give the municipalities a choice.
Okay.
Is what I think they're trying to do. How that will look in the long run, I don't know. With regards to how we make that transition over, if it was ever to happen. There's an example happening right now in Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie is going through it, and certainly not failing by any means, but not happening as fast as they were hoping for. They were supposed to have taken over jurisdiction a long time ago, and that hasn't happened. And we're still expecting that the RCMP will still be the ones in charge until at least the spring of 26, if not the fall of 26. And they were supposed to have it taken by the spring of 25. So just getting the bodies that they need and transitioning over and the equipment, I mean, it takes a lot. It's not just right down to the guy's boots, it has to be thought of and the logistics involved. So it's taken a lot more time and a lot more funding that the provincial government has given them that maybe we all don't know about.
Yeah.
And lots of different things like that. But our leader wants to make it work because she wants to show that that we can make a transition like that in Alberta, and it's going to be all better for everybody. But I don't know if you talk to the ratepayers up there, if their taxes have gone up a little bit, or
So they've gone to a city police for the
They
city
have.
of Grand Prairie, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's roughly about 120 RCMP members there, so you can imagine that's a
huge,
that's a huge contingent and large project to take.
it's a huge area that they police. Yeah.
Well, they won't do any of the rural.
So that's just the town and
Just the
then
city, yeah.
the RCMP would do the surrounding area currently.
Correct, yeah, and that'll be the way it is. The RCMP will always do the rural area, city. But yeah, Surrey Police has gone through a similar transition, and they still haven't handed over the RCMP hasn't handed over the entire operation to the Surrey City Police yet. It's still happening, but it's taken, I think, 5 years longer than they've expected. So it's not that it can't be done, but I think the cost involved in the false hope, in a sense, essentially is what's
It's not as easy as all that.
no.
Melissa?
Just a question. So if they move to the municipal police force and then the RCMP are to do the role.
Right.
So does that mean that they're still paying their funding to the RCMP or now is that?
No, they'll be paying just to the Bureau of Police Force, yeah.
Cause right now, they're still paying their portion to the
Yeah.
RCMP.
We are.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anyways, back to the renovation. Yeah, we're gonna be in phases. The cells is gonna looked at first, so we're gonna have no jail cells for about 6 months, we're expecting. Which is gonna suck, we're gonna have to rely on Bashaw or Black Falls, Drumheller possibly, depending on what's going on. Come up with some creative ways to deal with our model citizens. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I assure you we will, and we will make sure that, we're not taking shortcuts. Just, have to be more cautious with our manpower.
I was gonna say, that's gonna eat into your manpower
Sure
for
does.
transportation costs.
Way over,
That's right.
it's not a short, oh,
That's not, no, and that's not just the transport, then once they're there, if they have to go before a judge, justice of the peace. No, we can do it over the phone and conference call, but, all the processing and stuff like that, we can't expect the other detachment members to do that for us. I mean, we are on the same team, but at the same time, they've got their stuff to deal with. right?
Yeah.
So we can't just pass them by. And, yeah, just the travel time back and forth all the time, it's gonna be challenging, but, yeah, I can't sugarcoat it. But we'll make it happen, and we have to, there's just no way around.
Mhm.
Yeah. Other than that, we're really doing well as far as morale and everything goes. Our members that are there want to be there, and they're happy to be there. I don't think we have any gripes in the communities at all. We don't hear much from our elected officials as far as problems. Our stats have been really good, so hopefully it stays that way, and we can carry on, continue on. Yeah.
Paul, any questions, any comments?
No, just recapping, how long did you say this construction is going to go on for, and particularly the jail cell not being available?
The jail cell should be 6 to 8 months, and then the entire project, I'm going to suggest is going to be probably 18 months before they're completely finished.
Wow.
But it
Okay.
should be back in operation, and not we're never going to lose our operatable ability, but it's just going to be a little bit more challenging. So I'll keep you guys advised. Like if our front counter is going to get a complete overhaul, so when that happens, we may have to shut down for a day or two. But I'll let everybody know that you won't be able to come and get a criminal record check on this day or report a collision. Just have to wait and we'll get to it. But hopefully we're going to be able to work with the contractors so they can work on weekends and evenings to make sure that the front counter is open for our clients and that sort of thing. So, but you never know. Like the building was built in '77, and there's going to be stuff they find as they go forward. So who knows what?
Yeah.
It's always a mystery, right? You change the light bulb and you end up renovating the bathroom, but we'll see. Yeah.
And if
Okay,
there's any
thanks.
asbestos in there or anything else.
There's that too, and I think they've thought of that. I know that that's something that they expect to have to deal with, but perhaps the level at which they're going to have to deal with it, they don't know yet, right? Just
Right.
until they start taking stuff apart. So, yeah, and we don't have a basement in that detachment. It's a crawl space, which makes it a lot more challenging because a lot of the plumbing and electrical is down under there, and it's not a great place to work.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, it is what it is, and luckily I don't have to do that, but we have to manage it. So.
Okay. Thank you.
All I can say is the stats look awesome. I'm very grateful and thankful that you guys are around when we need you. And it's one of those things that the value of it is never apparent until you have to have it.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, for sure. Now, I was wondering about something that's been suggested to us is that the opportunity for one or two or all of you for that matter to go up into our operation control center, and that's where they do all the dispatching. So there's one in Red Deer and there's one in Edmonton. The one in Edmonton is much better to go and see, but they're opening that up for mayors and council to come and see how it works and what the operation is like. It's quite awesome, actually.
Are there set days or just
Well,
by
if
appointment?
you're
or-
interested, we can make an appointment, and I'd probably like to bring you all at one time, so we get, county and town and all the villages all at the same time, to do a little bit of a tour. But it's pretty cool, because right now we have, it's definitely evolved since I started. There's an NCO, which is what I am, a non-commissioned officer, in the control center all the time, 24 hours a day. So if there's a critical incident that happens, that member is then leaned on to be able to manage it from there and to displace resources and move things around however they need to. And just the logistics alone is pretty awesome.
Mhm.
So if that's of interest to you,
Mhm.
you're the first ones that I've mentioned
Yeah.
to, but.
Yeah, coordinated, and once you get a date and then a kind of a time, we throw it out there to send it out to us
Send out
and,
an invite,
yeah, send an invite and we can see
Okay.
all or some
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's just something so that you guys are more aware and then see what we're doing,
Mhm.
you know?
How quickly might that happen?
I would venture to say probably February-ish, maybe,
Yeah, okay.
just to get through Christmas and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably won't be around, but that's
Well,
okay.
Yeah, we all have
Whatever.
different things going
Yeah.
on, but yeah, throw it out there once you get a date. I don't think we have any preferences for dates. I'm gone part of February too, but we'll figure something out and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can't always appease.
No,
everyone's
no,
schedule.
no. No, that's why just throw a date to us and we'll see if we can attend.
Sure. Okay.
Is it open to staff as well, admin, or just the counselors?
Just the counselors, yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, no, that's fine. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That would be
And
awesome.
are you just doing it Edmonton, or are you gonna do Edmonton and Red Deer?
I would venture to just do Edmonton.
Yeah. That's
The space in Red Deer is not even close to the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Operation.
We want to be wild.
Yeah, absolutely. I want you
When
to-
you, when you email it with something, then I'll send it out to
Definitely.
get some answers.
Definitely.
So we've also got on here,
The provincial.
the provincial National Police Federation, had sent out of course, an introduction and some talking about that. So do you have any comments on that?
Well, the NPF is our union. That's
Yes.
who they are.
Okay,
And they've helped us immensely as members, guide us through a whole bunch of different negotiations for equipment and pay and that sort of thing. And they also stick up for us a lot more than our upper management does, which I like to see. So it's just,
okay.
So I'm sorry, what was the question?
Well, I just say, I think they were talking mostly about the advantages of sticking with the RCMP as opposed to the
Yeah.
provincial police force is what they were talking about mostly in
Yeah,
that letter.
I mean, we can go around the table as many times as you want to, and there's gonna be some figures that might sound better to go with a provincial police service rather than staying with the RCMP, but I think at the end of the day, changing the color of our uniform isn't gonna change anything as far as what's happening in the justice system and that sort of thing. That's beyond what we can control, and I verily believe that the agenda that our leader has at the moment is just to, stick it to the federal government because that's the mindset that she's in. The RCMP is here. We consult with our stakeholders, our community leaders all the time, constantly, to make sure that we're fulfilling the priorities that they have. Because each different community has priorities that are different from the next for obvious reasons. But to suggest that we don't, get the input of our communities and that sort of thing is absurd, and that the provincial police service is going to do a better job at that. That's not going to happen. I'm from Alberta. I have no interest in leaving Alberta, and I work with several others that are the same. So, yeah, I don't see what the advantage of it is, to be honest. We have resources, bar none, way better across the country than the provincial police service would ever have.
Mhm.
Support services. and that
They
sort
would be contracting to you anyway,
They would,
probably.
yeah, they would
Yeah.
for those services. But so we're still gonna be here, like, you know what I mean? And I think the model that they'd like to move to with regards to coverage and that sort of thing is a lot more broad. From what I've been hearing, I'll take this with a grain of salt, but from what I've been hearing is the idea is to hub things a lot more. So let's, for instance, say that Stettler would be the main detachment, but the members would all work out of Stettler to cover Bastrop, Concert, Coronation, and a huge surrounding area where those members wouldn't actually be posted there, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Right.
So
Wouldn't have a satellite office or a satellite
Exactly.
position.
Well, there'll be an office probably, still available for them to go to.
Yeah, but not fully staffed.
And exactly, and none of the members living in the community and that sort of thing. Right?
So response time is a lot higher too.
It's going to be different, right?
Well-
But they're going to look at it and sell it to you in a way. Well, we're going to have 24-hour policing though, whereas in those communities that's impossible because there's only 4
So
or
many
5
staff,
members.
yeah.
Yeah.
And but I can guarantee you that the response time from a member that's on call and concert is going to get there way faster than the 2 members coming from Stettler going mock chicken. I just know it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and living in the community has a huge advantage. It does.
I can't say how important that is in my eyes to be posted to a detachment and not living in the community would be horrible. Or, just being in Red Deer, for instance, a completely different setting where you're anonymous completely when you go home. And I understand a lot of the members have a hard time with that and they don't want to be noticed outside of work. But unfortunately, as you should realize, as being a Mountie, that's what being a Mountie is.
Yeah.
Because a Mountie is always known to be in the community, and whether you're on or off duty, you're there to help the community and you're there to be the eyes and ears and that sort of thing. And people should see you and respect that. And so it's a tough one to juggle, especially this day and age. But that piece in my mind is huge.
Yeah, well, and I think you get a different perspective of police when they're part of your community.
You betcha.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody that comes in for enforcement, typically, that's your only contact with
That's
them
right.
is for the enforcement, which is typically a negative thing.
You betcha.
Whereas if somebody's living in the community, yeah. So that would be a negative for sure.
Definitely.
Okay.
And I
Well-
know for a fact that the sheriffs are the same as the other policers while trying to find bodies to fill those positions. It's not that easy.
No.
And their training, where are they going to train all of these people? They do have little training facilities, but it's not set up the same as what the police train for.
Yeah, that RFP that went out for a training facility, that all fell through.
It did. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. So, there's a lot of things to think about that haven't been really. I mean, they've been said, but they haven't been broadcast too much because, there may be some manipulation.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a horrible idea.
Well,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just thought, well, you don't know if you don't ask, so.
That's right.
I'm quite happy. I for one am very happy with the setup that there is, that
Yeah.
these officers live within the communities that they're serving, because for one, I think you see a lot more.
Yeah.
And are able to proactively deal with it instead of reactively dealing with it.
100%.
And so,
And just like was mentioned, well, you can have members, please come in and do the enforcement piece, but then it's usually a negative. Well, we, the members that live in the community, can, and it's not necessarily the proactivity of it, but it's the personal touch to it as well. I growing up with kids and growing up with sports and that sort of thing, you get to network so much, as you know, right? So hockey games, volleyball, whatever, you get to know the parents and that sort of thing. And I can't say how many times that it's been hugely beneficial to them and me to be able to have that personal connection with somebody in the community that I've met through my kids, my wife's work, whatever, and not have it to be this big deal where it could have been had I not had that personal connection. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
And then that goes not just for me. I mean, all the members have
Sure.
have the same experiences, right?
right.
But I guarantee if there was a hubbing system, that personal connection.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
It'd be the red and blue lights, and that's it.
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Is there anything that as a council that we can do to voice our opinion to that effect, or?
If you're happy with us, that's all I can say is just make sure it's well known and that you're opposed to the provincial police, and that's all I can ask for.
Okay, and that may not be something that as a council we could do, but
We'd have to do it through AOMA or ASDA or.
yeah,
whatever.
something like
It's
that, yeah.
usually through the associations
We
that
do
we
it
have.
through the, but I mean, that's something that we could advocate through Dan Hiller as our representative through
Yeah,
ASDA.
AFDA, yeah,
Just say, we feel this.
Yeah.
And we're being well served. If we, if we feel that way, maybe we should start communicating.
Yeah.
That's the political pressure that gets noticed.
Yeah.
More than just one little council, going and writing a letter to the province or something.
You're better to be a joint all
Yeah.
community association letter.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're hearing from the NPF as well that the majority of the communities in the province are very much on board with wanting to keep the RCMP in place, but the ones that are vocal that have a beef with us or whatever are more vocal and they get a lot more traction.
Well, I can see the cities. I can see the draw to a Grand Prairie or to a Lethbridge or to a Medicine Hat. to have their own police service. I can see that to a certain extent, as long as it is in conjunction with the RCMP. But for places like us and Stettler and out east and everything else, the amount of calls that you have wouldn't warrant it. Like, I think you guys do an excellent job with what you're dealt.
Yeah, I do too. I verily believe we do as well. You know, it's just a matter of, because the difference between city policing and rural policing
It's
is
huge.
absolutely not even comparable. But
Yeah.
Grand Prairie's, well, it's probably very similar size to Fort McMurray. I'm not sure what the population numbers are, but like Medicine Hat and Lethbridge there, you do have their own.
Yeah.
Red Deer would be one consideration. And I know that that's been spoken about, but they've realized the cost involved and how overwhelming it would be to try and transition. And again, you're not going to, in my opinion, you're not going to have a better service. You're going to have a different service, a different uniform perhaps, but are they going to be able to solve crime differently, better than what we do? I don't think so. I mean, we're always constantly evolving, changing with the times, and doing the best that we can to keep up. But you know, it's always up to the imagination of what the criminals are going to start doing next, or the drug dealers and stuff, right? And they're crafty.
Yeah, they are.
If they put that effort into a real job, they do quite well. Because by saying, unfortunately. But that said, the stats are showing that rural crime has definitely decreased quite a bit in the last few years, and it's because we've been able to adapt to the trends and be able to do more analyzing and focusing on where the problems are. And it doesn't happen overnight. It takes time in order to see those results, and I think we are now.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, you guys are hindered by the courts and the policies.
and that's way beyond what we can control.
Yeah.
Sure.
And it doesn't matter what police force you're by.
That's right. That's right.
It's gonna be the same.
Policies and rules will always be the difference.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Just as an observer looking on Facebook and all so the drug situations in and around Stettler, has it gone down substantially since there's been things broken up, or is it?
We definitely have drugs in Stettler. We will always have drugs in Stettler.
Always, yes.
But we've definitely relocated a few individuals, and by choice some, and not by choice for others. But that has definitely made a difference in the community for sure. And hopefully, and if they do get released, we work with probation and parole officers daily on the offenders there that are released and they're on conditions, and we check on them regularly to make sure they're abiding by their conditions. And if we don't if they're not, they get breached pretty quick. And the probation officers and parole officers have a lot more teeth than we do in order to put them back in jail, and they have. They do quite often.
Yeah.
If somebody's not, abiding by the curfew, and I mean by 20 minutes, back to jail. We're not messing around here. This is real. These are rules that are put in place to protect the community, and you can't seem to follow them. So we work together with them a lot, and it's good.
Because I think that has a direct effect on, because I noticed that when there was a larger operation in the rural area out here, that's when the crime
Vandalism
and break-ins and everything else in villages like ours was higher.
Yeah.
So the more that you can stay on top of that, the better off we are.
100% sure. No, absolutely. And we do. Like we recognize when a property is a problem, and we do put a lot of pressure on them. And some people might call it harassing, but it is what it is. Like we don't want that kind of activity in the community, so that's what we do. Definitely.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you very much.
You betcha. Thanks for having me. And Merry
Thank you.
Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to you and everybody else, Cam.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, I'll send out an invite for that. I'm not sure when, but we'll set something up.
Absolutely.
Right on.
Yeah,
Okay.
great.
See you later.
Thank you.
Motion to accept for information.
Hey.
And
Yeah.
I'll make that motion.
Dan and Leona.
All in favor, yeah.
Can we also put in there, a motion to, maybe have Dan, represent, how do we wanna put that? For Dan as our contact to the Association of Summer Villages, to express our
Dan Hillier.
approval of the RCMP versus a provincial police force.
Do you want to have council to council kind of discussion first before you, or do you want to do a letter to Dan as the rep?
I think, a motion to have the mayor of White Sands approach the mayor of Roshan Sands and ask for that to be put forward to the association.
Have the mayor,
White Sands,
then, hang on.
contact the mayor of Roshan Sands, who is our representative, to put this forward as, something we would like to see.
As representative,
Yeah.
right?
Or ASBA.
Yeah, I got it.
And just to have them put this as an item
To
Forward.
put RCMP
support.
at
Yeah.
RCMP support as an item
On their agendas.
on the ASBA agenda.
Yep.
Got it. Moved by Dan?
Yep.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Okay, and.
Paul, you had your hand up. Just
Well,
a
that was
vote?
when we were making the motion.
Okay, and this is a second motion. So all in favor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, moving right along, we are at,
Can I ask a big favor?
you want a break? Can you do, we'll take a 5-minute break. Paul, you
Sounds good.
with that? Okay.
Yeah, I can use that too.
10:50, so 10:55.
All right. See you shortly.
Okay. I'm just going to mute if I can figure this out.
Done it, Bob?
There.
to go to,
Yeah.
Let's just go down,
oh,
so.
procedural bylaw 6.2.
6.2, yep.
Paul's not back yet, so just wait for Paul.
And I'm just gonna get to this area. You are, oh, there you go.
When you see Paul, you can reconvene.
Okay,
I am back now.
okay, so we'll reconvene at, what is it?
10:56.
10:56, there you go. Okay, 6.2, procedural bylaw. So this dealt with just, I'm on the wrong one here. This dealt with just some minor changes.
Yeah.
The 3 business days.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was just, yeah, allowing it to have a little bit more time to read this. That's pretty much it.
That's it, and making sure we met the legislative changes for public hearings and stuff, so
Yep.
we just did it all in one shot.
Okay, any discussion? Paul, did you have any comments on this?
No, I had nothing, nothing of
Okay.
no concerns on this.
Leona?
None, I recommend that we do all 3 readings.
Okay, I'm good with that. So, motion to have the first reading on this,
Can do.
Leona?
Leona,
Any, oh, we have to vote on that one as well.
yeah,
So all in favor? Okay, I'll
I'll
make
make
a
a
motion.
motion on reading number 2.
Okay,
okay. hang
Paul
on.
makes that, all in favor? Okay, and third and
No,
final.
motion
oh,
to go
motion.
unanimously to
Sorry?
3rd. You need a
Yeah.
motion to go unanimously to 3rd.
Yeah,
and
Yes,
then-
we need a motion to read, to have the third one.
Yeah.
So a motion to have the third reading,
Motion to.
unanimous,
Unanimous consent to
to
do the
move
3rd.
into the third reading. And then the third reading,
And I'll move the 3rd reading.
okay? And so that takes care of that. Oh, sorry, all in favor? Okay? That
I'm
was
slow today,
short and
sorry.
sweet. No, okay, next one is respect in the workplace and fair treatment. No, a lot of this was legislated more recently. This is,
OH&S changes, right, that you needed?
and MA as well. Municipal Affairs had some stuff in there, didn't it?
No, this
This
is
is
just
strictly OH&S.
OH&S after the training that was
We needed
completed.
some of these policies because they have to, as a requirement.
Yes,
So the definitions of violence, harassment, bullying,
Yeah.
not what wasn't harassment.
Yeah,
we didn't have enough clear definitions, so
Okay.
that's what we did.
And I didn't see anything in there. Paul, did you see anything in there that you were?
No concerns, no, it all looks fine to me.
Okay. Okay, so we accept this, or do we, yes?
Yeah, move
Just
to
move to
approve
accept.
the amended policy.
Okay, I'll move to approve the amended policy, or policy as amended, however you want to word that. All in favor?
Yep.
Okay, moving on to business. The internet and network upgrades. So this looks like just it's a fairly major upgrade, but it would bring in the
Yeah.
hall, it would bring everything into one, and we have no, because
And
initially.
it would get rid of the other one, so we would reduce our cost there, so it would even out.
In about 3 years. Now, this, there was no confidentiality or linkage, there was a little wall in between some of the stuff.
Yeah, there's weird stuff going on here.
But we're good. We'd have that set up so that they were each, would they each be their own system, or would it all be under one?
It would all come under our system, but
Yeah.
we would have the proper firewalls built in, and we would have everything set so that we also meet our insurance requirements. And we get the hall up and running, and then we get the cameras put properly in working plate order.
Tied in.
Tied in. So this is cleaning up everything without doing a bunch of,
And this is
Digging.
not going to increase our Starlink or whatever the system that we're on?
nope.
Okay.
He came out, we reviewed everything, this is straight, this will fix
So
everything.
by
up.
adding a couple users, if you will, that's not going to affect anything.
No, it's basically making an open concept for them, but adding in additional firewalls for us.
Okay.
And no trenching, it would just pull it together.
And from what it looks like, the majority is hardware upgrades as opposed to,
Correct.
it's not a huge amount of labor to put it all in.
No,
That
no.
seemed to be reasonable, but there was a fair bit of upgrading needed from a hardware perspective, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, the labor was only 700
Yeah.
bucks out of it.
Yeah. But this brings us into, gets everything aligned, gets us more secure, and gets everybody up and operational, and starts cutting back some of these excess costs.
Okay, what was the conduit underground versus above ground? I don't understand that. There was something in there about that. What was that all about?
Oh, we had talked about running a cable underground here into the hall
Yes.
and, but not being computer literate, Jace was able to circumvent that.
So we don't need to do that.
No,
Is
no.
that- That's the bottom
That's the
line.
bottom line.
Okay,
yes.
and we don't need to, this can all
We'll
be
get
done.
rid of Cyban, we'll clean her all up. This just brings it together, which is the way it should.
So it doesn't require any underground work.
No.
Okay. Okay, Paul,
So-
any discussion? Do you have any?
Just one quick question. This all makes
Yeah.
perfect sense, and I think that'll be fine. But I was just trying to figure out, why does the bottle depot need connectivity to the system? Is that for cameras, or is there some other
Cameras.
reasons?
It was the cameras, so that's why we're trying to, I said, if we're gonna do this, let's do it right, clean everything up.
Okay, so where do we, just out of curiosity, where are the cameras situated, or where will they be after this?
They're gonna stay situated the same way because we have the equipment, it's just that it's kind of piecemeal. So it runs off Cyban, which is way over there. We've got all the extenders, they've got the bouncing stuff. And then the camera storage equipment is actually way up high in the old shop. I can't access it because you'd have to have a ladder, which means we're calling out the company to come and pull it, whatever we need off. Or this will clean it up and bring it down to where we've got the access.
To the cameras and.
And if we had to download the footage for the RCMP based on a situation, we could.
Sitting,
now I
sitting in
can't.
the office and right now we cannot,
No, I can't. There's no ladder, there's no way I could reach it.
really.
Interesting, okay.
Yeah.
And how many exterior cameras do we have around that area right there?
1, 2, 3. We got about 4, 5 cameras.
Okay,
It covers the area fairly well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does this qualify? I know MSI is the wrong term, but does this qualify under MSI funding or whatever that funding is now?
What I would do is I would use the MSI operating funding that they give us, which is about 17,000, and I'll just put it as that's what we're gonna use.
Okay,
It's a grant,
Yeah.
but it's all included in our budget. So what I'm looking for is, if you guys are okay, you're approving this for the 2026 budget, and I'll start working towards getting it done.
There was a motion on the table from Leona.
I
so-
missed it.
just to approve for the 2026 budget to upgrade to the,
Accept the quote.
accept the quote from Jace, whatever
Okay.
his company name is,
Cinder and.
Cinder MSI, yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
yep.
Okay, next is the tent. I've got a comment on this and I hope I'm not stepping out of line too much. This seems way overkill for accepting a tent that was donated by the community to the village for the village use and community use. I just think this was way overkill. I think that there may be some things that we need to adjust about insurance, and that's a different thing, and maybe the inventory is not horrible to do, but like, don't we just say, we accept the tent, we'll put it in storage, thank you, let us know when you need it. Like, isn't it that simple? Or am I out of line here? This seems like, holy cow, you want them to be on an agreement, you want them to pay for any insurance increase, you want them to, like, just accept
You
it.
don't
say
have
thanks.
to, this is council's Paul, I just got you all the info to let you know this is how municipalities and you need to make sure insurance, your liabilities. If you decide to just proceed, however, that is your call.
Okay.
We're gonna still proceed with whatever the budget implications
Yep.
will be.
Yep.
And to understand that this is what's there, will we give access willy-nilly? No, but if you.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so,
It's-
but other than that, probably one of the things we'd really wanna know is what's the cost estimate? I don't even know how to cost estimate this stuff.
But I agree with Dan, there's a couple of things. One is this has made a mountain out of a molehill. But I also realize that it's brought to bear a lot of issues that we need to address as a council with our insurance. Do we have enough contents insurance for the tables and chairs and tents and everything else? Do we as a village council have a policy in place where if somebody wants to donate something, that we have, okay, this is what it is, this is the description of it, this is the approximate cost, and then how does council accept the donation or not?
Yeah.
So I see,
And it
I
does-
see all of that. I see that as things that we need to deal with, but not necessarily right now with this.
Mhm.
Yes, we have another tent. That other tent is a summertime tent. It is not a
Very
winter.
different.
It's a very different asset than the one that is being donated. I would suggest and am prepared to make a motion that we do accept the donation. We simply get a letter, if you need a letter from the Hall Society saying they are willing to donate it and that the insurance coverage and everything will be covered by the village. And then we deal with all the other issues separately.
I think we have an email that is a written.
Yeah.
That says the Hall Society is donating it. They have said if there's an insurance increase, they will cover it. I do not think we need that. I don't
No.
want to tie them to that. So I just think we accept the donation and then the insurance and all of that is something separate. At this point, we accept the donation and thank them for it. Like I almost option number one with no subject tos, just it is.
I
Or
think that
maybe
sounds like I think that sounds like a good idea. And just as comment on the whole insurance thing, I tend to agree as well. And the whole question of whether we need to have contents insurance to cover this, if we're just covering it for things like it gets stolen or, something happens to it and it's wrecked and we throw it out, well, big deal. I don't see us doing an insurance claim for something like that if it were to disappear anyways. And maybe similar for some of the other contents we're talking about, tables and chairs in the hall. This isn't stuff that would sink the village should, some of those things get stolen or damaged sort of thing. What we really need to make sure we're insured for regardless is, liability. If a tent collapses and somebody gets injured, is that the sort of thing? And that's the sort of thing that would really be, tangible losses that we need to make sure we're covered for. Um, Replacement costs of a donated item,
Yeah.
we're not going to replace it if it gets stolen. We'll just wait for another donation probably.
Yeah, and the deductible is gonna be higher than the value of those two tents, I'm sorry. Most of
Probably.
them.
No, and
So,
I
Okay.
don't disagree. It's
So-
just that Paul brought up exactly the right thing, the liability and risk if the tent falls, if we don't have something
but we would have that under our insurance.
correct,
Yeah.
but that's why it has to be a resolution of what are you doing?
Okay, I will make a motion to,
Did.
or did already.
Did.
Yeah,
Got Leona to
Yeah.
accept the donation of the tent from the Hall Society, is that it? Or-
That's it.
That's it.
And store it inside.
And store
inside.
inside, can I put the old job?
Yep.
However you wanna store it.
It's where you.
I don't
store
think
it.
we need to designate where even, I just use
Store it inside,
indoor storage. Subject to
inside
address.
municipal building
Yeah.
somehow.
Sure, yeah.
Somehow, somewhere.
So if you guys decide you want it, as long as it's undercover, we're good. Okay, and that is, oh, sorry, all in favor? Okay, and
Okay,
we are at
7.3,
7.3 emergency management appointments.
yes.
This was yours, Leona?
No,
or
this-
who's
No,
committee?
this came.
This is all of our
This is
committee.
all Shrima.
Yeah, this came in, there's some new appointments, so I just want to redo it. We've done it in our organizational, but now they're requesting as of December 1st.
Only comment that I have, it's very interesting that there is no town of Stettler emergency people on there. And I don't know,
County, yeah.
I don't know if there's other positions where the town is in or not, or I just find that interesting.
Actually, even the last ones were all county too.
Oh, really?
Yes, they were actually mostly all peace officers. This now is bringing in some fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can make
That's
a
something-
resolution to approve this one if there's no concerns.
Okay. So moved, all in favor? Okay. Annual member invoice. So it sounds like this is something that we kind of don't use a whole lot. It is a small amount, but when and if we wanted, it would be good to have.
I'm leaving it for you guys.
I'm kind of ambivalent toward this. I don't know what to do with it, but
Have
I
have
think-
we ever accessed any programs through this
do we
FCM?
need to access this organization to do FCM funding? Because there is FCM funding.
I can't give you an answer on that. It's just every municipality gets this, every municipality is usually involved because that's your federal level. And then you got your Alberta minis, which is provincial level. I'm just saying,
It seems to me that we have a lot of discussion and value out of the Alberta one, but unless we can really point to that I mean, if we can't really articulate the benefit we get out of this in a tangible way, like, yeah, we used it this year for this, or we attended this conference or something like that, I would suggest we let it go. Just it's not big dollars, but any expense we should need to be able to point to, here's the value of that, here's the benefit of this
The only
expense.
issue is have we not used it because we haven't actively pursued the grants that are available through it?
Do we know there's grants? Are they a grant?
They're,
Giving-
SCM does have some grants, some are innovative grants, a lot of it will be innovative this year.
So if we wanted to put solar panels out, we'd go through FCM? Is that kind of?
Normally, no,
So,
normally you go through your own provincial because the
okay,
feds work with the province and then the grant.
so can we point to one grant that we could access through them?
I don't have any in my time as municipal that we have been able, as small municipalities, access this.
And do we know what they are? Like, are we aware of them?
I can bring you back stuff if you'd like to table this till January.
yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I want to just know if there's grants available. Let's find out about them, and then if
Okay.
we feel that we're not going to ever access those grants because they're, space shuttle stuff, then let's get rid of it. And if there is something
Move down to table to next meeting.
to get more information on funding opportunities through FCM.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through their website right now. Quite a few different things. A lot of them are green initiatives.
Yeah.
Which I don't really know if we really have things that would fit into that. But yeah, I think I agree. Let's do a review, and if we don't identify anything tangible that we want to pursue from it, then I'd say we let it go.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, it's not, I really don't like vegetation cleanup. Because that to me,
it's
it
grass.
suggests grass, and now they can put their leaves in here, and this is branches. It's a branch bin, is what it is, correct?
Okay, it's whatever.
Well, that's what the county calls it. So county
Okay.
calls it a branch bin. And I did have a brief conversation with the waste and recycling, the committee that I'm on. And they had suggested that this would be a bit of a no-brainer, and they were putting together a program that we could have access to it twice a year, and it's gonna be rotated mostly through the summer, not the summer, through the lake villages.
Yeah.
And we would just be included on that, and the only cost would be picking up the bin and emptying it and then moving it to the next. So it was quite small, and I think it is a branch bin. It's not a
Okay.
vegetation bin. It's because then people start. I don't think we'll get grass, but it's a branch bin.
So it sounds like it's moving ahead. We'll have to pay for some bin dumping, not a big deal. Add it to the budget. We'll make sure we have that included, right?
Yep.
Correct.
So
Correct.
how about the motion should be moved by that committee, his meeting is implementing and administration to budget?
Yes.
I
To
don't know how much
include
more.
yeah, you've got it written there, direct administration to include the branch bin cleanup in the operating budget, option 1.
Yeah.
And then you'll just work with the county to get the dates and then communicate it. Okay.
So previously we had a lot of
Right.
discussions about whether you have to have the bin staffed to make sure that people aren't putting their old fridges in it or something like that. What's the county's approach on that?
They make sure that you're well educated as a community, and then they leave it to the community. Because
Okay.
it does get put into the wood pile at
Yeah.
at the landfill. So they want it clean. I think if we do a good job educating, branches only, put a sign up, maybe we might need a budget for a sign that says branches only. And it might be there for a week in the spring and a week in the fall. I don't know what their program is.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do not think we need it staffed. I mean, people know what a branch is.
So I think all we gotta make sure is in the budget, we know this is coming and we'll just work with that
Yep.
and the signage and all that as part of budget.
Okay,
Yeah, and I think it's just part of your general operating budget, your landfill, your waste management
Mhm.
budget, just your regular operating stuff.
yeah, put under
Yeah.
there. Okay, all in favor? Okay, council reports.
Nope, 7.6.
Oh, we added that. I added it on one sheet and not the other.
Sorry.
Okay, 7.6 was the request for decision for the strategic planning. We have 2 options, both which would be likely in January now. And one is with Leanne, who has done this before and has a budget there. And the second one is because we asked for a second option. We've got Chalmers Strategy Group. Discussion? Comments? I mean, there is a cost difference of
Melissa, from your standpoint from CAO, do you have any preferences? Is there additional workload on either one, or?
No preferences.
they both provide you with the same analysis at the end of the day. That's a nice real little report that says, here's your strategy, here's your direction, here's what people said or what we said.
Council gets a survey sent out, you fill it out prior to the meeting. I'm okay with either option.
And they both have an in-person discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an in-person workshop. The only difference is one is totally third party, has no relationship to the community. The other one has a relationship with the community in that they're a contracted officer, development officer to us, and are also a summer resident in the community.
Correct.
So that's the only difference that I see, and cost. So
I don't have any concerns with either option.
no, I don't either.
Paul?
No concerns with either option. I think it's just who we feel would give us the best guidance. And without knowing either of them personally, I think I would defer towards the development officer, since she knows the community and we've worked with her before, so she's a known know an entity, not to me personally, but to us as a village.
And we've met her before, Paul, haven't we? At least, I think in person a couple times.
Yes, I
Yes.
think she's come.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I-
is that at the whatever okay, where we're doing approvals of things, right?
Yes, and when we first got on board on through the by-election, I think she was at our first meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, she was
Okay.
at our very first meeting and she, yeah, when we did the handover. So
Right.
I'm good with that. Paul, do you want to make a motion to accept Leanne and her the January 8th or 9th?
I will do that. Should we pick which date and then make
Yeah,
that part of
make
the
the
motion as well?
The ninth, I have a Buffalo Lake Management Team meeting, so I would prefer the 8th.
Okay.
I didn't know what your guys' schedules are.
I think I can make either date work. I think all else being equal, I would prefer the 9th, but 8th is fine if you got the conflict.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up my calendar, but is it the 8th and 9th? Is that a Wednesday, Thursday, or
It's a
Wednesday,
Thursday, Friday.
Thursday, Friday? Yeah, I'm good with either. So sorry.
All right,
So
let's
for
say
you, then
The 9th is a conflict for me.
so the 8th.
let's say the 8th then. So
January 8th
I'll make
strategy.
the motion to go with her as the as to lead us in the strat planning for Thursday, January 8th.
For Thursday,
Yep, I'm wide open.
8th. Yay, I totally.
And that'll be a full day session, sounds like.
Yes.
Looks like that, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, now we're going into council reports. I just have, and I'm sorry, I will try to get a commitment, so I have a written one. I'll do a verbal. Am I on first? Yes. So I had 2 meetings. First was the Stettler Waste Management Commission. Good attendance. They're happy with the equipment. There is a slight budget increase. The requisition will go up $2 from 78 to 80. And so that's an increase for 2026. They've also given a 2% staff increase cost of living that is covered off by that $2. And there were some changes in HHW, which is household hazardous waste, was fully covered by the commission. And now through the EPR and the provincial changes, about 20% of the HHW previously is now called HSP, Hazardous Special Products, I think, will be covered off by the province. So there will be a little savings in that.
Nice. Yeah.
And they cover off not only the disposal and the processing and handling, but they also cover some staff time. And then they briefly talked about the wood bin, or we briefly talked about the wood bin. And then the only other thing was that there was more cardboard being put in the burn pit, which we've looked at increasing signage to kind of divert that back to the cardboard. That was it. And then that was that meeting. The second one was the tour of the pumping station, and I think I'm going to let Leona's, her written report was very good. I thought it was very worthwhile. It was kind of a fair eye opener and very interesting, and even more the upgrades that are going to be required will be fairly extensive, but not. I mean, there's some screening changes. They've got a plan, and the nice part is it sounds like that plan will, for the most part, be covered off by the province.
Mhm.
And that was my 2 meetings. Do you want to address who's next? Yeah, Leona, do you want to address your written? Anything highlights?
Just the only highlights in there, Melissa, I think you saw from the Shirley McClellan line, the rates, the cubic meter rates are in there from the truck fill stations.
Yeah.
So we're going from 410 to 420, and they've budgeted it out, but yeah, that will, if it changes, I'll certainly let you know. Budget notes are in there. They are doing an hourly tracking system now in the county, so whether or not that will change, who knows? I do have a couple things that I do want to check with Krista on, and that is what our percentages are in payment of the deficits. So I will, maybe I'll come back to you later and figure that out.
Okay.
Just to make sure that we're not getting overcharged on the usages, because Lauren gave me some notes saying that he had the amount of water that we use at our truck fill station. They were comparing it to another village that is on a water system, and so they were charging us the same amount. He got that changed down, and so now that's why we pay less of the debenture costs.
Yes.
And so that is what I want to confirm is still the case, but I have
Yeah.
to talk to Krista about that and find out for sure. So
Yeah, most of our, when it comes to debentures, it's a different because the municipalities that actually have the infrastructure in the ground
yes.
pay more. And we
Yes,
don't.
but that wasn't the case to begin with, and Lauren got that changed. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that that is going to be the same going forward, because there is going to be an increase. That there's at the very beginning of that report, the debenture, the Denelda Reservoir is actually going forward, I believe. So. No, Denelda, Rosalind, and Wolf. I think that's the one that's going forward. Anyway, those debentures are all going to be coming forward pretty quick.
Yeah. And we do have grants.
Yeah, it's in there. Denelda is 10% funding that the commission is responsible. The reservoir is, Denelda is responsible for 25%. So yeah, anyway, all good. Town rate is still in there. Very interesting, very efficient as to how they do it all, well run. And I think it's an integral service to East Central Alberta just because of the water. So anyway, Parkland Regional Library, that was a longer meeting because it was, we had to do a budget approval or an interim budget approval. And that's all there. The requisition for 2026 is in there for you, Melissa, $9.99 per capita. And that was passed. Out of the meetings that they are suggesting, they want to have one face-to-face. So there will be additional costs for me to attend that meeting rather than all by Zoom. Most of them are all by Zoom, except they do want that one face-to-face. The pumping station, I agree, that was an amazing meeting to go to. It gave me a better idea of where that pumping station was. I also got a better idea that the Buffalo Lake, we don't need the community engagement that Gull Lake does, because
right.
Gull Lake is strictly recreational, whereas Buffalo Lake is a multi-use lake.
Yep.
And so that's why the provincial coverage, which was news to me. I did not know that Buffalo Lake had a different designation. Getting this integrated shoreline management plan, and just so that everybody knows, that is online, these are available if anybody wants to take a look at them, and our shoreline plan is going to have to make sure that this is integrated into it. So we'll go forward from there. Water license is coming forward, but again, they're dealing with that. That's not something that we have to deal with. Lake levels, unbelievably low. I like the fact that they are looking at that trigger, that the of pumping to be a little bit higher than what it was, because that will make it so that the lake doesn't fluctuate quite as much when it comes back up to level. I think that's it. Oh, I had the White Sands Hall Society in there. It was just mostly the Christmas party planning. I will have some other business coming forward from the Hall Society, but not for this meeting. So,
Okay. Paul?
Yes, so I just realized it. I hadn't realized it earlier, but I had put in a written report on the 4th, but it doesn't seem like it got included in the package here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
we didn't, yeah.
or is it in there somewhere and I missed it?
It is in there.
I got December 15th. Is that the report
Oh.
you're?
Yes, yep, okay.
here.
I just didn't see it
No,
when I was
it's all
flipping
in
through.
here.
Okay,
You got
um,
CS
so-
Page 96.
Page 96.
okay, perfect.
Sorry.
All right, so main updates, County of Stettler Housing Authority budget meeting. So we've had a number of discussions on the budget. We are looking, bottom line is at a large increase in our requisitions for this coming year. A lot of the reason for it was we had surplus funds in the housing authority dating back to funds received during COVID years, which were way in excess of what was spent. And so we have held back on doing any requisition increases over recent years while we whittled away that excess. And with a few of the changes this last year, the retirement and payout of vacation for the departing CAO, new CAO coming in, one more management position that was filled through the year, and a number of big expenses for some costs last year, increase in food expenses, all those sorts of things. We have now depleted all those reserves and now need to do a requisition increase. So the bottom line, we just received the numbers here a couple of days ago, and I can send that through to you, Melissa, but I think you'll get it
Yes.
from Chris as well. Our requisitions are going up by 44% for next year, from
Holy.
55,000 last year to 80,000 this year. So we will have to budget that in. The for the totals of all the communities, they're going up by 46%. Ours is going up by 44%. So, all the communities are kind of sharing the same load. So that will be somewhat painful.
Can you repeat that number from
55 to 80.
55 to 80,000?
Yes,
For our portion?
for White Sands portion, yes.
That's
The total
huge.
requisitions are going from 1.17 million to 1.7 million.
So the County of Stettler Housing Authority, is that a volunteer association that we are part of? If we
No.
weren't in it,
No, we are legislatively mandated to be part of it.
Okay, and I'll just make you guys aware, this is a separate line item on the tax notice. So it will be calculated, you will do your municipal,
And then it'll be spread throughout everybody.
correct, but it has a separate
Line
line
item,
item.
yeah,
But-
like the schools does.
Right.
Yeah.
Like overall budget will have
Yes.
to include everything, but it's
It'll
not
be a
going,
separate.
yeah.
Another thing to point out is on the plus side, the way the pay periods work out next year, there's 27 pay periods. Most years there are 26 pay periods. Because a huge amount of the costs of this are labor, that's $150,000 hit for next year, which is included as part of this, $500,000 increase in requisitions. That part would be backed out for 2027 again when we go back to 26 pay periods.
Wow.
that's going to be a little bit of a hit to everybody in the community.
It will be.
No.
It will be. We've had a lot of discussions on it. We did stand up a separate budget committee. We went through things with a fine-tooth comb, and there were lots of trims that were made to it. I think Chris commented that about $300,000 from his original budget was cut out. I do feel this is a very realistic budget, and maybe in the past I think we had a little bit of sunny day optimistic budgets. The comment was that a previous budget was made assuming 100% vacancy through the whole year. Certainly in the last 5 years, from the numbers that I've seen, never hit 100% vacancy. That is one of the strategies, though, is to always be looking to increase that, because the more residents that we have in, the more rent the housing authority is getting, and the more government funding that it's getting. So
The correlation between long-term care using up active hospital treatment beds and the housing authority, like, is there any coordination between acute care and, I don't know if you know where I'm going. There are lots of seniors that are in acute care beds that are waiting placement in long-term care facilities. And if we've got vacancies in these long-term care facilities, why isn't that transition happening faster?
I don't know if I know the answer to that fully. I think my understanding is that this isn't, high care facilities. This is, this is assisted living meal plans. This is not, when a patient gets to be very high needs, they're transferring to other facilities that are not within the housing authority.
So Heritage House is not part of this?
Which
The one
one?
that is Heritage House, the one that is attached to the hospital?
Heritage House is,
Yeah,
yeah.
because that's high needs.
Well, I may be wrong on that, but that is part of it. But a lot of the facilities here are, seniors housing, affordable housing, not
Yeah.
necessarily, it's running the gamut of needs-based care, but that's a good question. I don't know on that.
Could you look into asking that question and put next time's report?
I could look into that, yes.
How's that?
Yeah, no, it's just, if the communities are being asked to fund this, and you're also being indirectly asked to fund the hospitals and everything else, right? Then how we need to be able to utilize all of these facilities as efficiently as possible. And I'm not seeing that there is that efficient crossover all the time.
Well, if you gather some info and then send it to me, I will help you with the information report on how it's structured for Stettler.
Okay. So your main question, Leona, is on how the efficient flow and management of acute care in the hospital is being managed to be
Right,
supported
so,
within the housing authority.
Right, so acute care in the hospital, one of their biggest complaints is their beds are being held by seniors who are awaiting placement in care facilities, whether those be long-term care facilities, level 4, whatever level they're at, or lower assisted living ones, right?
Mhm.
So how does that all happen? And if we've got a vacancy rate, why is that vacancy rate not being used up by transferring those acute care cases
Okay.
into our facilities?
There's
Okay.
an explanation.
Yeah, there is an
We
explanation.
will gather, I'll work with Counselor
Yeah,
Paul,
yeah.
and then
Yep.
we'll bring you information so that it's clearly laid out, so people have an understanding of how seniors funding and housing work.
Well, because this is going to be a challenge when it'll increase everybody's,
You're gonna
taxes.
get backlash.
Yes, it will be a line item, just like education
Yeah,
tax.
but I
and-
wanna make sure
yeah.
that we're able to explain,
Yeah.
here's the reason, here's the rationale. Okay, and the fact that it hasn't been done for quite a few years, that's the problem with, not having small increases, you get hit by a big one.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of, if it increase is needed, take it when it's needed, and don't spring a big increase on somebody down the road. This is unfortunate, but
Yeah, like
Well,
1%
um,
increase over 4 years.
Yeah,
That-
I was an advocate last year, and I was very proudly saying that we did not do an increase in the requisition last year because we have the surplus and we don't need to. But yeah, that's I think that was appropriate to use the surplus when we got it rather than asking for an increase in requisition when we were at a surplus amount within the housing authority. But yeah, that is all gone now and it's hitting in a wave. So.
Was there a huge human resource jump between the past CAO and the current CAO?
Well, what there was a fairly significant payout of like a half a year of accumulated vacation time. So the vacation I was being paid out while the new CAO was in there.
So there's the double
And
up
then,
there.
and then what we have with this new CAO is a clear succession plan. This new CAO is great, but he came on saying he's likely here for a 2-year period. And so we've hired a new CFO that will be part of the succession planning over the new CAO. And so there's kind of like the two salaries there right now as well. So probably um, probably a third of that increase is due to this dynamic. But the exciting thing is that we got a really good CAO there right now. The whole board is very happy with him, and we got a clear succession plan for longer term as well.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Kate,
And,
motion.
and I guess the other thing that's unfortunate is that government funding is a huge part of it, but the government funding is a very limited cap. So I think the requisitions make up about 30% of the funding of the housing authority. But then when there's an increase, that's entirely borne from the requisitions. It's not like they're going back to the province and saying, well, you need to increase your payments to us by 20% or something like that. That's not an option. So it's all coming from the communities to fill the gaps through requisition. So it's magnified.
Sorry, you had one more SDAA?
Yes, SDAA, not too much to report there. Have organizational meeting this past week, selecting a new chair, which is Dan Hiller. And the only other updates is every 3 years there's accreditation reviews, and they had a very stellar review. We just have preliminary results at this point. The official results will come out in December, but it was all very, very exemplary. So things are looking very positive right there. 2026 is when the contract comes up for renewal again, with all the changes in AHS at the provincial level. The province has not engaged for the renegotiations yet. So that will come, but it will probably be interim contractor extensions because I don't think we're going to be anywhere close to having it done by the time the contract expires. But I guess that's what happens just about every time. That's the normal way these things work.
Any questions on Paul's?
Have fun.
Okay,
When that contract comes up.
okay, hearing none, let's motion to accept all three councillor reports. Leona, all in favor? Okay, and we're gonna move to the written report. Oh, no, the CEO report.
It's written, one of the items you already dealt with, I got nothing more about it.
Okay.
I think I had a couple questions.
Okay.
One is, it is Greg Switenki, SWI.
Thank you, sorry about that. I
Yeah,
was-
okay,
Yeah,
that needs to be changed or updated.
but that one is, you already dealt with.
Yeah, we've already
so
dealt with, but it
it's off.
just to
Yeah.
correct it
Yeah.
in the report. Got a note here. Oh, and we've also dealt with Jack's Pond. But the one question that I had that came out of your report is when there is activities like putting up the tent, who monitors it to ensure that that tent is put up safely and all that kind of fun stuff? Is that up to you, or will that be up to Al, or how is that going to be dealt with?
Well, that's something you guys haven't given us, we're restoring it. Nobody said anything about us installing it.
No, they volunteered to put it up,
Okay.
but I'm just wondering if you're talking liability, if the tent falls down, if volunteers put it up and they put it up incorrectly, then who does an inspection on it, or are we doing an inspection on it? What's the protocol there? So I don't know.
It opens up more cans for me, and I don't know, we're limited, we're busy. I don't know what we do. Anybody?
Well, I don't think it would hurt to have our maintenance take a look at it. Whether they can designate it safe or not safe.
That's the thing.
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
think we have the experience to do
The
it.
people that are putting it up have put it up year after year after year. So there is that expertise and past behavior. I think it might be worthwhile, because it is a village-owned piece of equipment now, to have our maintenance take a look at it. And if he has any concerns, then they need to be brought forward.
Okay.
I think that would cover us in, at least from a safety risk perspective. Having another set of eyes, that's just to take a look and see if he has any issues with it more than anything.
So how about we would inspect it prior, but I think the installation of it, we're not qualified for tent building and stuff.
Well, I don't think anybody is.
Yeah, so that's where I'm kind of like, we're getting into some areas that I don't even have expertise.
Plus a lot of that stuff is being done on the weekends and stuff like that, where we don't
Yeah.
have him on staff at the time. So it goes up on a Saturday morning. Who's looking at it?
Yeah.
So
I don't know, but it's something that I think we just need to address, right? And it may be something as simple as here's the policy, not a policy, but here is the checklist of things that have to be done.
Maybe we have to make sure.
And if he's got a checklist that, yeah, it's been staked, and yes, the center pole is solid.
I think I need to think.
Yeah.
So we don't need necessarily this is how to set it up, but this is the safety. I would say
municipal responsibility. We will check the outside of it. We'll do this. If you install it, please be responsible to
Well, I think a safety checklist for Al.
A
tent safety checklist. Is it staked down? Does it look like it'll handle a snow load? That.
See, I think that's getting way too technical for us, because that would be like saying, okay, we built the fire pit and we do all the certain things, but we can't turn around and tell you, when you do the fire, you're taking the responsibility now on yourself, because if you take it above, if you do something outside the tent, I think I have to take a look at it from administrator's perspective of, okay, we could look at the chart, make sure it looks okay. If it looks like it's kind of weathered or worn, then maybe we should be bringing it to your attention and saying, we don't think it's useful.
I suggest that I suggest that maybe one of the things that we can do that would limit our liability is making sure there's a copy of the owner's manual or instruction manual for setting it up that is included with it, so that, then I'm sure all those safety checklists and things like that are part of the manual on it. That
I agree with you,
whether they
actually.
Pardon?
You can probably get an online manual.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sure
I think we need to ask administration to see if they can get some information on not only the setup, but setup, operation, and safety checklist.
Yeah.
How about if I do an email saying we'll accept it, we'd like a couple of little things.
They're not gonna more than you. You're gonna be able to investigate It's a 10, 12-year-old tent that is, but we need to do some investigation. There,
We can
I'm sure you
help
can
you
get
look.
state procedures.
Okay.
Yeah,
We can help you
I'm willing to bet for sure you can find a copy of the setup manual online for that, and that would have all that information in it.
Yeah.
And if we provide that information along with the tent to whoever's setting it up, then we say you're expected to follow the directions, and that's covering our liability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's give them instructions.
yeah, and
Yeah, and I agree with you,
Yeah.
it's probably a brand, I need to have something to look for.
Well,
Yeah.
you have the tent, so if you can get us the name of the tent when you're moving it, when Al's moving it into storage,
Yeah,
that would
we
be
can
great.
find something.
Or
Okay.
I'll see if I can find something, so.
Okay,
What
Okay,
else?
where we at? CEO report, yeah.
50% not permanent, does this need to be defined? What was oh, I know, snow removal policy. You said that you've gotten a request for a resident to be added to the permanent residents because they're there 50%. My thoughts on that is permanent resident means permanent residence. You're here 100% of the time.
So follow the
This
policy.
is your home.
This is your home,
Okay,
but that's my thoughts.
I agree.
so continue following the policy
Yes.
as it's written.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if somebody wants to request and they come out more often, then they need to request more often. I'm sorry. But
Okay.
But you had a good point in your updates about, what about some of the places that don't appear to be permanent residents any longer? And I agree. I think they remove it from the list, and then they can contact the office if they were removed in error and they need to continue to need the snow removal. I think that's one of the problems that we identified is that you can get your name on the list, but how do you get a name off the list when somebody is no longer a permanent resident there?
Okay, so we'll continue doing administrative review and update.
okay.
Right, and you also have in here Hall Society Delegation of Home Management. If you don't mind, I would like to table that. I've got some ideas surrounding that, so it's just we haven't got people all together yet, but we need to deal with some of the issues with the hall.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I was just bringing you up to date with,
Yeah.
they didn't want to be a delegation, so that's why they're not on the
Yep.
agenda at this point in time.
Yeah.
So when they're ready, I'm good with that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
just have to.
I just did my little one page.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep, no, that was good.
That's good. Okay, that was it. That's all I had out of there. That I wanted to.
And then the action list is all updated, everything I've been working towards.
Oh, the other question I had was the restricted reserve for public lands. It's kind of clear, but,
Okay, that one is.
or is that a new
That's
item?
another
That's a
item.
different item, so.
That's under the CAO report, is it not?
No.
Nope, that should be under the financial stuff.
Review 9.3, review encumbrance and
Yes,
parks and
it's under the
recreation.
CAO report.
But it's not her report.
Okay. Okay,
Oh, okay, I see.
I
what-
thought it was, okay. Okay, so then we can accept, for information, the CAO report of 9.1. Do we need to look at, and 9.2 was deferred, and 9.3 is what we're talking about now, correct?
Okay, so let's do 9.1, my reports.
Okay, accept the motion to accept the written report as presented by
Leona.
Leona. All in favor? Yep. Okay, now going to the 9.2, Leona has made a motion to defer that,
Okay.
correct?
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay, all in favor? And 9.3, discussion. So I had, what was that? I had some notes on that.
I will tell you, I'm still working through it, but this is what we found so far.
Okay, so some of it's recreation and some of it's infrastructure, but there's a line, or there isn't, it's a blurry line.
Yeah,
So as it stands,
it could be.
there's 100 and some thousand
152,750.
that is available for recreation and infrastructure at this time. We could read that to fit either one. So if we wanted to put a playground in, we could put a playground in. If we wanted to upgrade a road or put some culverts in, we could use that funding for that as it stands, and we'd still be okay by this restricted review.
From what I have gathered, yeah, because it's just not clearly defined. It just
Is
says
it clearly
municipal-
defined moving forward if any future subdivision work is done?
We will.
Okay, so right now, that's how we need to treat it, is that it's both. And the lines are blurred between, and we wouldn't get in trouble if we spent most of it on one or most of it on the other. The way it sits.
The way it sits, no, because it's pretty wide open, municipal infrastructure. So if you turn around and you decide a playground or playground equipment, we can consider that municipal infrastructure. If you wanna do culverts or,
Cause they're both listed in here, recreation upgrades, if you will, and infrastructure upgrades, and it's kind of a bit of both.
and if, so yeah, upgrades and improvements to public lands. So as long as it's owned by the municipality.
Correct.
It says, yeah, scope includes recreation facility, parks and public spaces, open space enhancements, and community amenities that support public use and safety.
Correct.
This
And
is
there's-
all we
and-
could-
And there's no time limit on when we use it?
Nope. But that's all it can be used for, is those type of things.
And
Okay.
only for that development?
No,
No.
that's the whole village,
That's the whole village.
because the village infrastructure supports that development.
Correct.
So they're paying into the future for that activity, for the whole village.
So I don't know, yeah, okay.
I can only go through the history.
I,
of
no,
digging.
no, my thoughts on this is that in our budgetary process, from January till April, or whenever it is that we do our budget, and through our strategic planning, I think we as a council actually sit down and take a look at this and divide this up and say, okay, this much is for recreation and this much is for municipal improvements, like culverts and
Yeah, yeah.
infrastructure and all that kind
One
of stuff.
civil, one's recreation.
One civil and one recreation. Deal with that for that 152,000. You say the next few are absolutely, it'll be very clear, and so then we'll be able to put those money in those reserves where we're possible.
Every agreement will come to council. So if there's a subdivision that comes, say from another parcel that sells and they wanna subdivide, then you will get a copy
Oh,
of that agreement
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you will, it'll
So
be
there,
clearly
it's
defined.
not a set in stone thing, it's a negotiated thing.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, what do we need to do with this?
If
So,
it-
yes, so Leona made a motion to review this during the strategic planning
And the budgetary.
and the
process
budgetary, for budgetary consideration.
For clarification as
Yep.
to what belongs in what reserve.
Capture that?
Hang on. Moved by Leona to review during strategic planning and budget deliberations. Is that
Yes.
good?
Yeah.
Good. All in favor?
Yeah.
Passed. Okay, financials. Okay,
How come there's no balance sheet? This time around in there? Or did I just miss it?
we got bank recs.
Hang on, I'm in here. Okay, so there is the 2025 budget and actual variance sheet. The bank rec is in here to the end of November. And then it's interim operating, which has,
So don't we usually get a balance sheet that says this is how much is reserve and all that kind of fun stuff?
not right now.
Okay,
That's not a monthly
Yeah.
information package?
I thought we got it every month.
It was on the bottom of
I thought it was on the bottom of the bank rec, but.
used to be. I think we took it off for this one so that we could, if we're going into budgets, we will have to talk about all that stuff, but everything is.
Like it
The
balances.
reserve was, you had it last month and it was still like the 500,000 and that's not changing.
No, but I'm just saying it should show up
As
always.
part of our regular
As part of
package.
our regular
Okay.
package, it should show,
So
should
I'll
always
figure
show
out
up.
why it didn't come on this time, but it's been there every other month.
I know.
Yeah, good catch. I didn't see that. Okay,
Otherwise, my biggest resolution I'm looking for is, as per legislative requirements, we must pass an interim operating budget.
Okay, can we do 10.1 and 10.2 as one motion?
Yes.
so, motion to accept, the revenues and expenditures in the bank rec. Leona,
Yep, certainly can.
all in favor?
Sounds
Okay.
good.
And now we're dealing with the interim operating budget.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, sorry, Paul. This is just simply so you can pay the bills as of January 1st.
Correct.
And any amendments, anything else can be done in the next couple of months as we go through the detail. Unless we have something here right now that we want to change.
Correct. This is just interim, it's just based on the 3-year and based on a projected, but those will all change depending on changes with requisitions, your assessments, like that.
But this still forms the basis of the start of the 2026
Correct.
budget.
Right, correct.
So we can increase and decrease when we have that meeting.
Well, that's my question, is because I believe that there's a couple line items that needed to be added in here. For example, recreation as in, hall maintenance and that sort of stuff. And also, we had talked about a contingency for promotion for small items, so we're not saying, oh, gee, that's not budgeted for, so we can't do it. So we need to have at least a small, whether it's $5,000 or whatever it is, something that's kind of.
Well, we talked about donations, for
Well,
example,
yeah.
and where does that fit? And it's
Exactly.
not a line item, so there was a number of line items that we wanted to see further broken down, I guess is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
And I'm just wondering, are we going to, if we pass this the way this stands, are we gonna be able to add those line items in the final budget?
Yes, and
Okay.
as it's like, so basically it's saying under the option 1 that you're approving it as an interim operating budget. It ensures MGA compliance, allows uninterrupted operations starting January 1st, reflects Summer Village service levels consistent with the multi-year plan, but it's only until the final 2026 operating budget is adopted. We're not doing anything out of the ordinary, just basic operations other than, the internet thing, I'll probably proceed because you've approved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with it. It's gonna be in that 2026 budget and it ain't gonna be cut.
Okay, I think we need
Does that
to
make sense?
deal with this, and then we need to perhaps make a motion to look at adding other items to the actual 2026 budget review.
And no,
Can we do that?
that will, when you get the full budget, you will be adding and changing items.
I don't think we need
We
a
don't need a
motion right
motion
now.
for that. Okay, as long as it's.
We've already directed to
Yes.
look at that for 2026 budget when we talked about it last. So that's covered, I think.
Okay,
Yeah, and the resolution that I did propose here is that you're approving the 2026 interim operating budget. We've got a total revenue and the total expense in accordance with the 2 sections. And it's authorizing municipal operations effective January 1st, 2026 until the final 2026 operating budget is adopted.
So did you put in those newer contingencies that we had talked about, like that ad promotion, like is that included in here already or?
Not yet, because we haven't gotten fully that budget. This is the interim, this is the budget that was created last year.
so this is not for new stuff yet.
That's right. Those could up and down and all depends on lots of different things.
Okay.
But the proposed was somewhere around the 4%.
Paul?
I'm fine with this, recognizing this is just a simple starting point, just based on trending off of past ones. The only comment that I've got is page 117, the 3-year budget. It says 2025 actual. I think that should be more 2025 projected, right? Because that's what you're trending towards expecting right now, or is that actuals year to date of 11 months?
This is the actual to the date. This is where we are sitting right now.
Okay, then I think it should be like add year to date on that or something like that to clarify that that's not a full year budget.
Oh,
Or
right.
Yeah,
not a
the
full, not
2025.
budget, full year actuals, I mean.
Yeah, the 2025 actuals is just year to date, probably November 30th.
Okay, I just make sure that's added in there, because otherwise
Year
that
to
gets
date.
quite confusing
Yeah.
when you're comparing 11 months versus 12 months for everything else.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so that 2025 actual is year to date. 2025 budget is correct. That's what was passed. The 2026 budget is right there. And then this was in that 3-year that you got to break.
Okay, Paul, do you want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to accept the interim, to approve the interim budget as amended there, I guess. And is that good?
Yep. Was it amended?
No,
Or as
no.
presented?
As presented.
As presented, the interim budget, I will take all, how about you're approving the proposed motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Option
I
number-
make a motion to
Yeah,
approve
option
the interim 2026 budget as presented.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, moving on to 11, the National Police. Now this, it confused me at first, but this is actually on behalf of the union.
Yeah, that's why I
We're
asked the
looking for
question.
support. Yeah.
That's why I asked the question.
Okay, so this is the union saying, do you support, or it's information.
Yes.
Do we need anything more on this? Any discussion?
You've already made the motion to have Dan as
Yeah,
a
you already did it.
representative.
Talk to Dan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a star of that one, Dan to Dan. There you go. CMP support. Okay. Okay, emerging trends. Is that any discussion on that?
I would like to attend. I don't care.
You would like to attend, but you don't care?
I've never done their virtual. In person can be. I'd like to at least attend it virtually. If you guys are
Municipal
okay.
law.
There's probably a lot of things I haven't been to one in quite a while, and there's a lot of legal stuff I don't know.
So it's a 1-day session, either Calgary or Edmonton.
Yeah.
And it's in mid-February, beginning mid-February. And there's
Edmonton is the only virtual.
but yeah, okay.
Yeah. I have attended in person most of the time. It's just weather related and then hotel and travel. I don't know if I think it would be better cost effectiveness to be virtual. That's just my thought.
So Edmonton is the only virtual, but there's in-person in both, yeah.
What's the cost for virtual?
$139.
$139.
I would like to use it as.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
Part of my training.
I don't see an advantage of being in person, so if you can do it by virtual, I think it's probably worth it. I think they're gonna try, they typically always scare you a little bit when you come back from those things. You always go, oh my God, we're not doing this. But it is good to have that at least, so we know what we need to be moving toward,
But some of the trends are, yeah.
what the trends are.
It was always nice to be in person because you're networking at the same token, but for travel wise and weather, I just think in virtual work.
Does it currently fall under your budget?
It would, because I haven't done a lot of
Okay.
retraining and improving for my education.
Okay, motion,
Yeah, I'll move that Melissa be authorized to attend the virtual session.
all in favor?
Yep.
Okay. Property taxes reimagined. I got the wrong one here.
I just put it as information.
Okay,
So my only comment on this one was, is this something that? So they gave you 3 options of things that you could post on your website. Is this something that we think might be interesting to post on our website, since we are going to have some significant increases in our property taxes, whether they're a separate line item or not? Just so that people have a little bit better understanding, because they gave you option 1, option 2.
I think you guys, this is my recommendation. I would table this to your budget. And then when you're working on all that, then this should be something we bring up to make sure that we do what.
so this is mostly communication. How do you communicate with your ratepayers?
Yeah.
Yes. And especially when you get into your budgets, we're gonna be needing to have good communication.
I'd agree with that. Is there any tie-in with this to, the advocacy I've been hearing about of pushing for the Alberta government to be collecting their own taxes for education?
Could be.
Yeah, this was some of the bigger municipalities made it a media thing that, hey, and I think we're aware that a large part of our collection is stuff that we don't have a whole lot of say in what we can do with it. So it's taken away, if you will, by not just the province, but some of the commissions and the requisitions that we have. So we have a limited, only a smaller percentage of what we can do with the tax collected money.
I think that this is actually, like, there's some good messaging in here. Do we want to cut and paste? Maybe not, but I think there is some good messaging in here that we can consider posting on our website.
I think it's good information and that we should consider it when we go into our budget deliberations.
Yeah. So for example, sample post number 2, in 2009, municipalities got $635 per person from the Alberta government, but by 2023, that has now dropped to $327 per person. So, I mean, that just means that more of the costs have been downloaded to the municipalities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some good information in here, and I would like to see some of it posted on our website, but
Yeah.
I agree with Paul, do it during our budget consideration.
Okay, so we're gonna table this
How about just
information,
accept it as
accept
info?
it for information
Just
Okay.
have to remember that it's there.
that we don't.
We're gonna be doing it anyway, because we're gonna wanna communicate the budget.
Yeah, for sure. But there's some good information in it.
Yeah.
Let's not lose track of it.
Yeah.
Okay, quick facts library system.
So 11.4 and 11.5. So what I tried to do is, again, I got a 180-page document from them. So what I did is I just sent Melissa, these are the pages that are probably of most interest to council. And so things like the minutes need to come to council for approval. And then who's our representative, that's on the one page in each of the areas. So that's why it's just a minimal amount that's been put in here. But
Yeah.
it's got some good points.
Well, the fact of being on the board means our ratepayers get better.
Well, it's interesting
Their
that,
resident costs as opposed to non.
right, so we combine 6, so we've got total financial benefits is almost $8,200 based on a population of 135. So 135 times 999, right?
That's good.
So
Okay.
anyway,
Well, and we had asked for this when we were first reviewing the increases and stuff, so that's good information. That's good to see that they're providing it now.
yeah,
Okay, motion to accept for information,
so moved.
those two, 11.4 and 11.5.
Yeah.
Okay, the Stettler Waste Management requisition. That's just basically follows up on what I said earlier, that we're getting a 2% increase. Or not 2%, $2 increase
From 78 to 80 now.
from 78 to 80. Yeah, and that's just kind of the background for it. I did question our 285 number, and that is a blended number between summer, the swelling of the ranks of the population, and the winter rate, and that's in the original committee establishment. Those numbers were all established. I don't think it's been revised, and there's no real. I mean, we do pay more than some of the other villages.
Our
But
permanent population is 191.
170 according 70 and change, 170.
Yeah.
But it's 285 here because that's a blended number.
Yeah.
And that's how they calculated it, so many months. And I guess it's a fair number. I guess we can keep going about. I'll keep having that discussion, but for now, that's kind of what it was and traditionally.
It
And
just amazes me that summer village of Roshan Sands seems so much bigger to me, and
Yeah,
yet
so much smaller.
everything is so much smaller.
It's way smaller.
I think largely because we all assume, as I did, that as soon as you get past Bar W, well, that's Roshan.
No, it's not.
It's not, and then it's Bayside,
Not till
and then
Chokeberry, yeah.
as soon as you go off the main drag up the hill, that's not Roshan either.
Yeah.
That Roshan Heights is not part of Roshan.
Yeah.
So you assume that because when you drive by, but it's literally just along that main street pretty much. So it's quite a bit smaller than you'd expect,
Yeah.
but you assume, and they pay for the garbage services. I mean, that's the other thing is they come down the hill, county residents, and they use those services.
Yeah.
So, but that's something that that's the way it's been.
Yeah.
So
If you look-
anyway,
if you look at their space, they actually don't have a lot of space.
No.
Where we're quite sprawled out.
Yeah. and they're fully built out just about too. I don't
Pretty
think
close.
there's any empty lots or very few empty lots, whereas we have a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's part of the numbers calculated. Okay, motion to accept that one as correspondence.
Do you wanna just do it all in one?
Okay,
cut?
well, let's see what the fire level of service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is basically saying that they've had some consultations and thank you for what we heard.
Yes.
Okay, so a motion, I'll make a motion to accept the final 2 or 3 as one, the rest of the correspondence. All in favor? Okay, and that's no new business. I guess we don't have any closed meeting, so we'll call for adjournment.
Just a quick question before we
Oh,
do
sorry.
that. Next meeting date, I think, is on Family Day. So does that mean we would go to the Tuesday? I can't remember exactly how we set it out or if we need to pick a new
Family
date.
Day is February, January is,
January's our first.
Sorry, I'm jumping 2 months ahead. Never mind.
Okay, but that is
Deal with
something,
that
so January's is when?
19th.
Will be,
19th, okay?
yes, and then February's, yes, and we'll jump to the Tuesday.
Well, what's the actual date? Do you have that handy?
Yeah, I can get it for you.
Because
That'd
I think
Hang on.
Leona and I are both gone. I mean, we can do it remotely, which is, we have that.
Or you can change the date. It's
Or we
your
can
call.
change the date.
I'm just going into,
So I've got Tuesday, February 17th as council meeting.
Oh, I'm back. Just,
Okay.
are you back?
No, I'm not back till March 4th.
Okay, so, but you're gone all of February.
I've gone all of half
Yes.
of January and all of
Are
February.
you able to link in?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's leave it alone then.
Okay, so Tuesday, February 17th. Perfect.
February, yeah, thank you.
Tuesday, February 17th. Monday, January is January 19th.
Yes.
And that one, I just get down there on the 18th, so I am hoping that I have internet connection for the 19th, but
Okay.
I'll figure it out.
Okay,
And the strat planning we'll do on Thursday.
On January 8th.
January 8th.
Yes, I'll get that off right away.
Leona, would it be easier for you if we move the meeting up to like the week before? If you just
Before you
want
leave?
Like we could do it on
Uh,
Friday the 16th, perhaps.
Yeah.
No,
You don't
Okay.
want that, okay?
no,
We'll leave it alone.
I'm already booked for something else on that day.
Okay.
Any other day before that date that you feel might work for us? Or for you?
Oh, if you need to make a change, it's not like we can't.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's always, you know, if you can make it the first, it's
see, the
always.
12th, I'm already booked, yeah, it's. I get down there on the 18th, and so the 19th I should be able to zoom in, so I'm thinking for
Leave
the
it alone.
sake, leave it alone for the sake of everybody else.
Sure.
Let's just leave it where it's at and.
Okay,
If you can't log on, we can do quorum, or you can
Yeah.
table and schedule a new date.
okay, let's, motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion. Sure.
Okay, done. See you later.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, because the only thing that I could do is go to the 26th of January, so.
It's 21. Okay, I.
Okay, you wanna
Get this
sign it
figured
out?
out yet.
It's, if you
Click
go to
on audio.
end, you go
Yes.
to end, that's
Okay.
end meeting
Right.
for